I like rock. I may be a little bit early, but it's now 7 o'clock. Let me turn this down. And you know, as I move forward on this, you know, tonight's live stream is on Memorial Day, so I'm hoping people show up. You know, I know there's stuff going on. People, you know, having celebrating their day off and that sort of thing. For me, Memorial Day is a little bit different, especially after being in the military. And even though I never saw combat or went into, you know, combat situation or anything like that, thankfully, I did have fellow soldiers who continued on. After I got out, there were many who stayed in the military and went on and went forward. And I know of at least one that I served with. Hey, Arden. Hey, David. Hey, Tyler. I know of at least one that I served with who was killed in combat. Thank you, David. And, well, I don't know if you remember, I think it was, it's been several years ago. And it was actually at the base. I think pretty sure it was in Iraq. But it was the incident where somebody attacked. Hey, Tyler. Hey, Richie Rich, thank you. But it was an incident where somebody who had lied about being a soldier or whatever had gotten on the base, something to that effect, and went into, hey, Terry, went into a tent. You probably remember reading about it. And I think threw grenades or shot officers and stuff like that. Well, one of my buddies, that's how he ended up dying. So, Emil, glad you're here. Thank you for that, Arden. You know, as we're doing these live streams, and I've mentioned before that I'm opening it up to people who want to be on the stream, and I'm going to contact somebody and see if he wants to be on the stream. And if he does, well, you'll find out. But I'll have to send him a message and see if he is available. And it would be really nice to have him on here. And he can enlighten us with some information as well. So I'm going to let him know. And again, if he wants to follow up, he can. Thank you, Tyler. Appreciate that. So how's everybody doing? I hope everybody's doing well and, you know, had a good weekend and, you know, all that's involved with that. I know last weekend, my wife and I, we went over to the camper that we have set up over in Alabama. And it was pretty busy then. There was a lot of people out on the boats, you know, running around on jet skis and all kinds of stuff. And, you know, we kind of upstate New York hot. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Andy. Appreciate that. But, you know, it was really busy, and I don't like a busy lake. I'm just not. I'd rather have, we usually go during the week, and because of that, we can do just about anything we want on that lake, and there's nobody around. I have gone on the lake with my kayak and kayaked up across the lake for about 1.5 miles and never saw a boat. And I was in the middle of the lake, and it was awesome. And that's when I like it. I like it. There's nobody else around, and I feel like I own the place. So whenever there's people there and being crazy on boats and jet skis and all that sort of thing, I get kind of panicky. And hey, Bill, glad you're here from Australia. I get, you know, just a little stress. It stresses me out a little bit, but just because I'm not comfortable with having all kinds of stuff going on out of my control, I guess. So, you know, we typically don't go to the lake on Memorial Weekend. For one, I'm normally working on the weekends, you know, but I'm off right now with the voluntary furlough. So we could have gone. I think she had to work Saturday though, so it was kind of out. But we have friends over there who are enjoying the time at the lake, and that's great. and we're going to go probably this coming week. And with that, I want to mention this because thank you, Andy. I want to mention this as well because I have been doing the Wednesday live stream, and last week I did it on Thursday because I was tied up with a project. I don't know. It's not looking like I'm going to be able to do a midday live stream this week. So just giving you a heads up for those of you that are just now tuning in or, catching up, because we'll probably be going over there on Wednesday and be there a couple days or 3 days. So sorry. I know I try to keep my commitments to this channel and all those sort of things, but I have other things in life that I have to do as well. So I did want to point out, I had the video on, I guess yesterday. I published it. It was the viewers project from Michael, and like I said in that video, I'm pretty excited for him because it gives all of us hope. I'm assuming he's probably well into his 70s, and he's still out there chugging away, getting this stuff done. He's messaged me several times with, contact information or wanting to have questions answered and stuff like that. So anyway, oh, yeah, thank you. I see that now, David. You're cleaning my stream. But it was really cool to see, somebody with some years on them out there still chugging away and getting stuff done. And I think that's inspirational for all of us, And I did have one person comment that they were like, oh, I would have scrapped that Mustang, and blah, blah, blah. And I said, no, that's not how this works. If somebody's got a project, it's their project. It doesn't give you, and I run into this a lot with comments. Jorge, glad you're here. Thank you. Appreciate that. Yes, Arden, life goes on. Thank you. But just because a video is posted and you may not like it, or you may not like what the person is doing, or you're not, if your opinion is such that, well, I would have scrapped that, whatever. Well, that's invalid in my opinion, because it's his project. Just like any of you out there who are doing your projects, I'm sure you don't want somebody to come in and say, oh, I would have scrapped this if it was mine. Well, that's not your opinion doesn't matter at that point. I've worked on my grandfather's Model A. I've said it before. It's a, hold on a second. Yeah. Yeah, it is hard to stay positive, Richie Rich. You're right. And Emil, I finished my floor pan now onto the rear quarters and wheelhouses. Okay. You get a bell for that. Good deal. But like I did a ton of work on my grandfather's Model A. More than it's worth. I can tell you that for sure. And just out of my pocket, I know I had about $9,000 invested, and that didn't count any man hours, the paint materials was covered with a body shop and all that sort of thing. And, for somebody to have an opinion like that, they don't know the history. They don't know what that car means to the person who's restoring it. That Model A was, my dad drove that car to high school. My mom and dad went on their first date in that car. And there's a rumor that my brother may have been conceived in that car. So I don't know for sure, but there's value on these cars, whether it is monetary or emotional value. So again, I'm not, yeah. I thank you for correcting that, old cronies. How you doing? Tyler, I'm sure you meant to say I'm a Ford guy. I love old Mustangs. I'm assuming it's what you meant to say. I don't know. But I'm glad you're here. Let's see. Where are we at? I commented to David last week that he was on the live stream briefly, and he had hold on a second. He had talked about his dozer that he built from, it's like an RC dozer. So I checked that out, and I told him he needs to check out this Danny Hyun, I guess is how you say it. And so, he got a taste of some over-the-top crazy builds that this Danny Hyun builds. really amazing RC stuff. I mean, you just can't. I can't find anything that's close to what he does. So, oh, Old Crony's Garage is 84C30. Changed his name. What'd you change your name for? We were just getting used to calling you 84C30, or I mean, going by the old name. So that's Scott then. Old Crony's Garage, but you're not old either. Come on, man. Changing around the names on me. I'm going to look at something real quick because I had gotten. Okay, I got a message from Michael on my email. It says, "Hope you're having a great day and great holiday." So I had to respond to him. Hey, we got Rick Stevenson here. Yeah, amazing builds on what he's doing there. But nonetheless, what I was referring to is Michael's car and the fact that if he wants to build his car, let him. If somebody else wants to build a car, let him. It's not up to us to go, oh, I wouldn't have done that. It's totally invalid. It doesn't help anything, when you say stuff like that. So I'm gonna have to. I got some leftover Waffle House coffee I got to drink. Let's see. Well, I thought old name kind of made no sense, and I kind of like name. Okay, well, I mean that's fine. You should maybe make it Young Crony's Garage, because old crony, you're not old, so maybe Young Crony. Danny, everyone said I should junk my Mustang, but I'll definitely show them when I'm finished with it. Yep, good for you, man. Good for you. Look at that. Tyler on the same page. Oh, come on. There we go. I don't know why that bell. We got Matt checking in. Yeah, well, I'm not much of a fan of boats, honestly, but there are some. Now I will say that I'm talking about like modern fiberglass boats. Doesn't mean much to me. We have a lake, camper set up on a lake. I don't care if I ever get a boat or not. I don't need it. I like to kayak. I like to be out there and just calm and quiet and paddling around, doing my thing. When you start adding in a boat, then you got, gas you got to deal with and a trailer, and you got to have a truck to get it in the water and out of the water, and, secure it and tie it up and all those, maintenance, all that stuff. But I will say, I love the old boats like that. What is Chris Craft? I think is what they were. I think that's what the name was. Where it's like all oak, the whole top is curved and V-hull, and it's made, from oak, and it's got, or whatever wood they used. I'm assuming oak. I don't know. It's all refinished and shiny and polished and beautiful and chrome. And I love those boats. I think those are really cool, but you have to have the right place to have a boat like that. If you're out on a lake that is active, with a lot of jet skis and, pontoon boats and water skiers and all that sort of thing, that old cruiser boat, it might not be as fun to be out there with that. So, okay. So let's see. David saying he goes to Northern New York in canoe, no motorboats. Yeah, that's cool. And well, Crony means friend, so it really means old friend's garage, and Crony is my last name. Okay, well now see, that makes sense, Scott. I'll give you a bell for that. That makes sense. Okay. Robert just woke up from a nap. Wow. Well, good. I'm glad you woke up. That's important. Let's see. Oh, Goodmunder. Goodmunder's here. He likes Viking ships. Well, I'll give you a bell for Viking ships. Those are pretty cool. I know they're impressive builds that they had back then, and I think they still have some out there, like maybe display ships or something. I think I've seen pictures or videos. I'm not sure. You could probably enlighten us on that. This. Oh, okay. Tips on live streaming. What are you asking, David? Asking for tips? Just stay active. You know, when you were on the other day, David, I missed it because I had something else going on, and I almost thought about joining you for a minute because, with the StreamYard, you can invite people onto the show, so you know that, right? So you've seen it with me, and obviously you've been on the show, so you can do it yourself as well. So just know that going forward, that it's kind of neat to have other people with you. And let me post this. Here we go. So there's the email, and if you want to be on the live stream with me, send me an email and we'll go from there. And if you've been on before, that's fine. And if we can get other people on, that's great. I like having a mixed thing. But I'm going to go back to a little bit of what I was saying earlier. And we can, I don't know exactly what you want to know, David, but basically what you see is what I'm doing. Same thing you were doing with yours. But anyway, but I want to go back a little bit with the Memorial Day weekend. Now, there is, you all know I was in the military and all that stuff. And there was I said it before, I know at least one soldier that I knew personally that died. But we had an event last week, and actually it was, I think it was last Wednesday, when I was over at our camper working on the deck, putting that together. I had a text message from a coworker. Now, I haven't been to my regular, hey, Butch, glad you're here. Appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, 35-foot Sea Ray. Yeah, you could get me on that. I don't mind a boat. I just don't want to own one. So don't be confused. I like riding on them. I just don't want to own one. Thank you, Scott. But what I was getting to was last week I had a message from a coworker, and the message was pretty straightforward, and it was about another coworker who was killed in a car wreck. Now, this really kind of strikes you if you know somebody who dies in a car crash or whatever. It's kind of hits you. I've known this guy about 7-8 years and worked with him over that time period, and really super nice guy. He was actually from the Dominican Republic, and anyway, so he was killed in a car crash. Now, from what we're gathering, it may have been somebody hit him, like he was coming into work, and from what we're guesstimating from the accident scene, he was in the right-hand lane. A girl was in the middle lane, or maybe one lane over. And this, of course, in Atlanta, where everybody drives crazy. And they think she wanted to take the exit, and she was late making the cut, and she come over, and they think she tagged his bumper and did a pit maneuver on him. From that point on, he was hit several times. Like a truck hit him, a car hit him, and then a semi-truck hit him. Game over. Now, he was thank you, David, just a really nice guy. And, in fact, I've said it before, I'm always drinking coffee, and he made the strongest coffee of anybody. And it was always like coffee from the Dominican Republic. He would import his own coffee. Thank you, Scott. And so, he would share his coffee with us, or he'd bring in, whatever, just coworker, nice guy. Well, through that, throughout the rest of the week, I got some other messages and different things, and we had a group email that, it was yesterday, that we went to his family's house because they weren't not allowed to have a lot of people for the funeral they're going to have. They're limited, the COVID limitations, but they invited everybody who knew him to come to his house. And we probably had, I would say 60, maybe 70, 80 people show up, and a lot of people from my department at work. And it was really nice. And it was really touching to hear all of the comments from all of his family members, all the people that he took care of and, you know, helped them with their lives, and just accolade after accolade for this guy. So he's going to be missed. And so this morning I got up, and I've said it before, I run, you know, I try to run a couple times a week if I can. I've been struggling with it somewhat, but this morning I went out on a run. And the idea was that, and there's another activity that the military people do called the MRF. So if you're interested in learning about some things, there was a guy, I think his name was Murphy, and they have a workout series or routine that they do. They call it the MRF. And I've not tried it, and I probably won't. It's very hard. And they try to do it in a limited amount of time. You know, it's really, look it up, the MRF. So, but anyway, I went out for a run this morning, and decided I was just going to run and just relax and just, you know, think about soldiers who never came home. But also because of the event that we were at yesterday, it made me think about the ones that are left behind too, because, you know, it's one thing you hear about so-and-so dying or so-and-so dying or so-and-so dying, but that person is a piece of a very large puzzle. Just saying. So, you know, we as individuals or friends or acquaintances, whatever, we lose that lifeline to that person, you know, in that situation, but he has a huge base of people. And, you know, for this guy losing, he was a tremendous loss to that family. But so my thoughts were with the idea of not only somebody passing, you know, in the military or whatever, but all those people that are now with a void in their life, you know, because that's another thing to think about. It's not just that, you know, your loss personally, but their loss in a big grand scale. So anyway, I just, you know, that's what I did this morning. I ran about 3 miles or so. But that was where my mind was all morning on that whole cycle of events. So anyway, I'm not trying to bring anybody down, just talking. Now I have some other things that I do want to talk about though. If you haven't seen, I don't know if I shared any pictures yet. I have another project I'm working on for a friend of mine, you know, not this Impala, but that's on the list. I did get the door seals, the 2 front door seals, and I got the trunk seal. So I still am waiting on the rear door seal. So I can't finish that car until that's in place. However, I had another friend approach me and ask me to rebuild some stands that they use for deer feeders. So it's just basically a 4-legged platform, you know, 1-inch square tubing, has some posts on it, and then a roof over the top just to keep the food dry. And the guy brought me 2 of these, and he's like, "Can you fix these?" And well, there were chunks of leg rusted off and everything was messed up. And I said, "I'd rather just build you new ones. You know, it just makes more sense." So anyway, I'm rebuilding 2 of these deer feeders. And that's what I was working on some of that today, cutting up the metal and different things. But that's one of my projects, and that'll be on the workshop channel. So if you haven't checked out my J Daddy's workshop channel, go check it out. And I've got a bunch of oddball projects that I throw on there and different things. Yeah, Scott, thank you for that. Yeah, Robert, they are hard to get parts for. And I don't know, I think it was Classic. I don't have the box out here. Maybe Classic Industries, I think, is who makes or sells the seals. And the seals come with the little pins and everything in them. So I'm really happy with what they've sent. But again, I'm stuck until I get, you know, I can do the trunk, I can do the front doors, but not going to be very helpful if I can't get the whole project done. I do have some other news though. I've been, you know, with this going on, with this laptop and doing the streams and stuff like that. I know it's been said, go get, you know, a cable and stuff and Cat 5, blah, 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 whatever. So I've ordered stuff. I've got 2. I hope I got the right, I'm pretty sure I got the right stuff. It's got, you know, it's one of the, you know, it's this connector dooflicky. So I have two of those, one to go inside the house and one to be out here in the garage. And I'm hoping that's, I don't know if I guess I'm doing it right. And then I got this kit from UB Gear. And apparently it comes with like 100 of these Cat 5 connectors. And then it comes with the crimper tool and some sort of cutter thing, cut the wire. But I'm waiting on the actual Cat 5 wire, Cat 5e, and I got it. So it's outdoor, whatever. So hopefully I did the right thing. But this kit came with these two little, I don't know. I really don't know what, I guess it's just a circuit meter. My guess is, I guess you plug one in, you know, into one cable or something. I don't know. I don't know how it works. I haven't looked at it yet. But it's, I guess it checks your circuit, make sure it's good to go. And there's no instructions. Surprise. Just a box of stuff. The only instructions are on the back of the box. It doesn't say anything about this thing, but I'm assuming it says cable tester and master and remote. So it looks like they separate. So my thought is you connect one end and connect this on the other end, and they talk to each other and you know that it's connected. So anyway, that's on my to-do list. I will be working on that soon. I don't know when the cable is going to show up, but we will have Cat 5e cable out here pretty soon. And then I'm going to have 92 connectors left over. Maybe somebody else has a use for, I don't know. But you can't beat the, you know, the price I got off Amazon. Pretty cheap overall. So that's on the agenda. And Robert is saying he started cutting the passenger quarter off of 66 yesterday. Cool. That's good. That's good to see or hear of progress. All right. So again, if you want to be on, wait to see if anybody, oh, okay. Huh. All right, so I have 3 more videos. It looks like I have 3 more videos that Michael sent me on that Mustang project that he's working on. Jorge, glad you're here. Yep, Scott. Yep, cherry bomb mufflers. Can't beat them. So anyway, the option is here. If somebody wants on, send me an email. I'll send you a link and we can talk. I also have currently have 2 other sets of videos that were sent to me that are going to be viewers projects. One is a 68 coupe that has been a project for quite some time. Looks like it's going to be really cool when he finishes it. And so that'll be interesting. And the other one, yep, it's just me. Thank you. Appreciate all the vets out there. The other one is, it's a really neat story. It's a California special. And the guy who's building it is in the military. And he is really going to work on this thing. He has saved the car, let's say. And he'll tell you the story. I'll give you a heads up on the story for this car. It was ordered as, how did he label it? I think it was ordered and sent to Hawaii. And it was I'm pretty sure he said it was a heater delete. which I didn't even know that was, I didn't think that was an option, but apparently it's a heater delete. And he, he found the car. It gives a good story on it. He found the car and is bringing it back to life. And I think the story is that the person who owned it went to Vietnam and died. And so he's rebuilding this car as a tribute to that person. And I think, like, I'm pretty sure I'm trying to remember what I'm saying here. He had, the car was shipped to Hawaii without a heater in it. And then he got it back, or got it here in the States somewhere. And he has a great story to it. But he's brought the car back to life. And it's really neat. So that is going to be one of the other viewers' projects. I had another guy contact me today about I think a Fairlane project that he's working on. So he's going to put a video together for that. And that'll be interesting as well to see something different, because it's pretty much all been Mustang except for the Ford Cortina that Greg did in Australia. And anyway, David Outdoors, I swear I used to put cherry bomb mufflers on everything back in the day. Yeah, they were pretty popular. I think they were cheap too. It didn't take much. You know, you talk about these mufflers. When I raced stock cars, we had, sorry, my nose is itchy. I was racing I had a 65 Chevelle, and it was a pretty good car, but that was one of my, anyway, it was the car that I raced here in Georgia was a 65 Chevelle. And because of where the racetrack was, which was in Douglasville, Georgia, the track was called Seven Flags, which is now gone. They ended up tearing it out, putting in a subdivision. But it was because the neighborhood had changed from when the track was built, you know, housing kept getting closer and closer to it. People bought or built houses in the area knowing that there was a racetrack there, you know, and then they raised enough fuss about it that the track had to shut down because of noise ordinances or whatever. But they had these mufflers, and you probably never heard of these. They're called low backs, or a low back muffler, and it stands for low back pressure. So you could put these mufflers on the car, and it would reduce the sound a little bit. And it was basically a muffler that was it was just like kind of like a cherry bomb, but inside it was shaped like an auger. It had a corkscrew kind of shape to it, and all it did was slow down the airflow a little bit instead of having a straight pipe coming out. So those were the one type of muffler that we used on the stock cars. And anyway, so I don't know if you ever heard of them or not. Your dad used to race street stock back in the 80s. What a great time. Yeah. Well, the track that I raced at back in Pennsylvania was called Windber Speedway. And my dad raced there in the 60s. And then it was basically around, it turned into, I don't know if it was how it was built. There's a football field in the middle of it. So it was a small 3/8 oval. And my dad raced there in the 60s. That's where he started racing. And then it went away for a while and then came back. Sometime in the early 80s, they started racing again. But what they did, they would have enduro races. So I don't know if you're familiar with enduro races, but it was crazy because they would take cars. And I think the largest, if I remember, they had, we're talking a small 3/8 oval. I mean, like the outside of the track was 3/8 of a mile. So the inside was small. I forget, I think my mind is telling me they had 200 cars on that track at one time, I think. It was either 150 or 200. It was like outrageous how many cars they had on this track. And if you're not familiar with enduro races, you go out there and you run, and somebody is supposed to be counting every time you come by and tracking you. And the first person to, I think it was like 200 laps, the first person to 200 laps was declared the winner. And so if you were on the track and you got in a wreck, you could either sit there and just wait until they had so many cars piled up that the cars couldn't get through, and then they would stop the race and drag off all the wrecks and then start again. It was crazy. Yeah, they used to have a Run What You Brung on Outdoor 74. Yeah, but that enduro racing was just, it was crazy. It was fun to watch. I mean, it was like a 200 lap demolition derby is what it turned into. And you were talking about Run What You Brung. I once had a race that there was a track up in North Georgia. It's Lanier, and I believe it's like a small half mile. I think it's maybe a half mile. And they had regular. It was like, paved. It was a serious track. It's still there, and they would bring in sprint cars and late models and all kinds of different cars would race on this track. But they did have a Run What You Brung event. And I had, at the time, decided, I had sort of built a 79 Malibu with a 350 in it, automatic. Didn't have a Posi or anything, but it was those Malibus handled super nice. And I took the car up there, and I was trying to run in the stock division. The car was plain Jane. There was nothing special on it other than, like, I think I had some 8-inch wheels on it, the old style rally wheels or something. But it had a 350 in it, headers. It was a mild cam, maybe an Edelbrock Performer or something like that. Well, they saw my car and they were going to let me run stock, and then somebody decided they wanted to see under the hood. So they opened the hood, and because they saw chrome valve covers and a chrome air cleaner, then they decided, oh no, you have to run modified. I thought, really? I've got the most stock car out here, and you're going to make me run modified. So they put me up against a Mustang. And this Mustang had regular racing tires underneath it, like 12-inch wide racing tires. It was lowered. It was a race car. It was a flat out race car. And I was kind of mad. I was kind of mad because I was like, this isn't fair that I'm driving. I didn't even have a Posi, just a straight one axle. So anyway, because I had raced before and I really don't have, I don't know, the fear switch maybe that I should, I jumped on that thing as hard as I could. And I was on the outside, and, we took off, and I was smoking a right rear tire. I could not get any traction because it was just a peg leg. And Mustang took off, and he gets to the turn, he backs off, and I just stood on it. I said, I'm just going to go. I don't care. I go into that turn. Now, it's a paved track, banked oval. I get into that track, held on to it. He was ahead of me on a straightaway. And I mean, I was probably a couple 300 feet behind him at least. Got to the next turn, turn 3. I held on to that, man. I was so mad. I just kept my foot to the floor. And when I come out of that turn, I was drifting on coming out of turn 3 and 4. I was starting to drift. And the Mustang, I was looking at his right rear quarter whenever he crossed the finish line, and I went across the finish line almost sideways and then straightened it out and kept going. And I just drove right around and went out the exit and went home. I was so mad. Oh man. Yeah. Yep. Lake Lanier. Yeah. I did I did 2 Spartan races at Lake Lanier. That was fun. That was a lot of fun. Arthur, going to ask you something about my wife's 69, but now I can't remember for the life of me what it was. Wish I could help. This is something about the engine, transmission, bodywork, interior, glass, taillights, suspension. Could be any one of those. Yeah, okay, David used to chrome out his crappy 6-cylinders. Yeah. Mason, what car's behind you? Okay. what car is behind you? Also nice car. What is the car you got behind you? A Mustang. Okay. That's a lot of questions. This is that 65 Impala that I've talked about before. I've had this sitting in the shop now, keeping it out of the weather last couple of weeks. And that's one I did a walk around for a buddy of mine. And I did a walk around video of it. It belongs to a friend of mine. So I've talked about it before, but you may not have been here. So, but I put a radiator in it, and I'm putting new door seals and a trunk seal on it. So we have Jorge waiting in the background. He'll be out here in just a minute. David, my 87 Formula 350 used to break so many training mounts. Used grip good, yeah. VW Resto Aussie. You know, I had a really nice comment. I remember this comment. If I'm pretty sure it was from VW Resto Aussie. That, if I remember correctly, you can tell me if I'm wrong, but he commented on one of my live streams or videos, I can't remember which, that he really likes the videos and he watches them with his kids, which I think is that's a bell. Whoa, there it is. That's a bell-worthy statement. So he can refresh me if I'm wrong, but I really appreciate that he made that comment, because I don't make anything that's going to be, you know, vulgar or anything like that. But just give me a heads up. I'm pretty sure I remember the name, VW Resto. All right. So now let me get back here a second. We have Jorge, and I'm going to bring him on. And there he is.
Hey, hi guys. Hey, happy Memorial Day, and thank you for all veterans out there for your service, and thank you, Barry, for your service.
Yep, I appreciate that. So what's going on in New Jersey? Uh-oh. You already froze on me. I don't know if it's you or me. Somebody tell us if it's him or me. Hold on a minute. I don't know what's going on. Froze up on me. Let me try it again. Okay, you're back.
I'm back.
Yes.
Bad signal out there.
Well, maybe it's all the aluminum foil above you.
Oh, could be. Got a pretty good signal, but
okay. Well, I don't know if it's mine or not, but anyway, what's going on?
Oh man. So I got both the rockers in, got them pretty close. Now I'm getting ready to roll the floor underneath it. And you know, just kind of going back and forth on the measurements. So I was checking the other car and this car, and they're pretty close, but maybe like about a quarter of an inch difference. I mean, that's for the only thing I'm concerned about is if I don't have it right for the rockers, I'm not going to be able to get the quarter panels on. That's the only thing my concern was, because they didn't quite kind of match up.
Okay. So what kind of rocker panels are you using?
Dynacore. Oh, that was the other thing too. So I got the Dynacore ones, and come to find out, the Dynacore ones I got, one was about 3/8 of an inch wider than the factory, and the other one was like 5/8 wider.
Yep, I'm hearing that a lot.
So what I did was I just cut it.
Yep.
And just, you know, and then I got it to fit. It looks pretty good. Let me see if I can show it to you. I'm on my laptop. I don't know if you can see it.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Can you see it?
Yep.
See the back here? Look at the gap though. Can you see that?
I don't see it. You have to go up higher. There you go. Are you talking about the gap under the quarter?
Yeah, like. But so if I took a measurement from up here to down here, and from here to here, and then before I took them off and after I put them off, and I got them like pretty close, and I used a laser, self-leveling laser to you know, as a reference point.
Right.
So, and that's pretty much where it was. But, you know,
Now, has that quarter been replaced?
this one has, yeah. The other
Okay.
side hasn't, but this one was, yeah.
So how does the other side fit?
Actually, this side's like a lot better. This one's
Okay. Oh, go up a little bit. There you go. Yeah, that does look a lot better. So in this situation, you can't trust the other quarter panel because you know it's been replaced.
right.
So you don't really know. And I mean, it's nice to have the original ones in place and that sort of thing, but this side looks a lot better than the other side. That's for sure.
Yeah.
That's at least that's my opinion from what I can see.
Now
Everything else looks like it's fitting okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's been. I mean, the only thing, like this side definitely fit a lot better. I mean, I had plenty of meat to grab here.
Sure.
And then I mean, this came out okay. Just, I guess it's coming out okay.
Well, here's some things you probably need to do. Those are just what's holding them in.
Those are self-tapping screws.
Okay. At this point, just as a reference, if you can, hang your doors, hang your fenders.
Okay.
Because you want to make sure when the door is in the closed position that it matches that rocker panel. That's your true reference. In my opinion, because I mean, it looks close. It looks like it's matches the quarter and everything, but
right.
I would still hang the doors and hang the fenders. Make sure the doors come down to the corner there, below the hinges, that corner that sticks out, below the A pillar, that corner on the rocker panel that kind of pushes out. That the door should line up with that, and then the fender, of course.
So I'm going to line it up with this right here with this edge.
I don't know where you're looking.
Oh, sorry. So I'm gonna line it up with this edge right here.
Still not helping. There you go. Yeah, the door needs to line up with that.
Right, and then line up the back quarter with it, and then line up the fenders and see what I got.
Right. So go forward on your rocker, and if you look at the go down, that corner sticking out right there.
This
the
one?
little. All right, go up a little bit. I can't see. Point again. No, the corner right below the hinges, where it sticks out, where the rocker sticks out.
Right here.
No. Go.
I'm on my laptop. Sorry, man.
I know, but right there where your hand is, go back 8 inches. Go back.
This way?
Go back. Right there. That corner is sticking out with the rocker.
Okay. Right here, talk about.
I can't see where you're pointing. We'll talk about this later. You're killing me.
Sorry, man.
No, that's okay. But the fat part of the rocker where it transitions in.
Oh, you're talking about this right here.
Yeah. Your door.
Okay, yeah, you want that to line up with the fender.
Right, but your door lines up on that corner. Going up.
So it's going to be from here up.
Yeah.
I got you.
Because that's where your fender meets. So it has to match the fender, and that's where your reference point is. So that corner is where your door needs to line up. So what I'm saying is, even if you're happy with how things look, or you think it looks okay, test fit, and make sure you're happy. So.
Oh boy. Okay.
Because you don't want. Listen, this is your time to do it. Because if you don't, and you weld the thing in, and then it's off or something's off, you're going to go, oh no, and you're even worse.
Now, should we go with? So I've got the stock doors, and then I have. Shit.
Which doors? You got the original doors, right?
Yeah, I got the original doors, and I got the stock doors. I mean, I got the original doors, and then I got some Dynacore doors.
Okay. Well, here's something that we can talk about, because I had a conversation with a guy last week who is building a 68 fastback, he got this car in pieces, literally. I mean, just a mess. And he was putting things together. The quarter panel was on, and he was having trouble with the door butting up against the quarter panel. And this is one of the things I had to tell him. I said, you need to make sure that whatever door you're going to use is going to fit. Okay. We took measurements between my 68 Mustang and his 68 Mustang, which is a fastback, but it's still the same dimensions. The door opening is the same.
Right.
He was off half an inch.
Wow.
Half an inch. And we were like, where did you lose this half inch? Well, we don't know, because the car had been apart and just handed to him. But my point was, put the door on the car, make sure it lines up and fits. Put the fender on the car, make sure it lines up and fits. Even to the point of setting the hood. You don't have to attach it. You can just lay it on top in the opening. Look at the reveal down the sides for the fenders, because you tweak those fenders in and out to get the reveal right. It could cause a transition in the rear. Okay. And I have videos on putting the fenders on the 65 with adjusting it and stuff like that. So anyway, you gotta test fit everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was watching your videos on the 65 on the floor, you know, when you were doing the floor on a 65.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, he does really nice work. It's everything. Like all the welds real nice. It's like, man, he does really. I wanted to ask, what size holes do you drill when you go to do your spot weld?
Usually around 5/16 to 3/8.
Okay, that big. Okay.
Yeah, because to me, you know, a 1/4 inch hole, which I don't have a reference right here, but if you're what I weld, and I don't want to make this look wrong, but you know, let's say this is the hole, right?
Right.
I don't start welding in the middle. I usually start on an edge, and I walk my way all the way around and finish out in the center, kind of like doing an ice cream cone. You know, you walk it around, make sure that whole perimeter is welded, and then finish it out coming in. Because the way I look at it, you start welding from the inside and you work your way out, you don't get that full lap on that edge.
Right.
You could weld out, and you could just be overlapping that, you know, that's at edge. But anyway, so I do 5/16 to 3/8, and if it's a 1/4 inch, it's hard to get started without already filling in the hole.
Right.
So that's why I go maybe just a little bit bigger. But anyway, test fit. Trust me.
Okay, let me show you the before it gets too dark out. Let me show you the floor.
Okay.
I got. I'm wondering if it's the right one, because it looks kind of different from what it is. I mean, I bought it from the guy, kind of used. So I wonder if it's a different year.
They're supposed to be 65 to 8. I believe.
68?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because they come with, if you look there should be in the kit, there should be 2 bumper mounts, 2 sets of bumper mount brackets.
Right. That's what I wanted to ask you about, because this came with the bumper mounts welded on the back. And
Okay.
They're definitely wrong. They're definitely wrong.
Okay, because depending on what car they were putting it in, and I don't weld those on until I have everything else in place,
Right.
so I can adjust if I need to. So the 65 is one shape, and the 67, 68 is a different shape. I think the 67 and 8 is wider. It's a whole different configuration. So if you have both of those, if you have the other set, you may have to look at what's in your car and use that as a comparison. Say, oh, this is the one I need.
Yeah, no, it's definitely wrong what's there now. So.
Now, did they give you the other set?
No. No, I mean,
you can order them.
Yeah.
In fact, I probably have some laying around here that are extras for some reason. but
I think I got it. I have a set. I think I have a set somewhere, and I think they're off. Like the one that kind of like the same thing that you went through. We had to cut them and move them around, and it was like the same kind of thing. But we'll see how that works out with this thing. So.
Okay, I'm going to bring up some questions here. Arthur, do you know where I can get a package tray for a full, I'm guessing fold down seat for 69 That's not the question, but something I thought about. Where you can get a package tray? I do not. I don't know who might have that unless it's like NPD, somebody like that. But Year One, maybe Year One might have something like that. But I don't know for sure. I've not dealt with the 69 stuff, so I can't give you a good answer on that. We have Footage Factory checking in. I hope things are going good, Steve. I hope they're going good. Hope you got that gas welder. Let's see. Robert, if the hole is too small, the weld tends to stick to the surface steel. It makes it hard to get penetration into the base metal. That's right. Yep. And, Robert, Jorge, is that a 66? If so, why does it have the later cowl side panel? I don't know. I didn't notice. I didn't look at that. So, is the side panel different?
I don't know. Let me go check between both parts.
Let's go do another wander around.
Supplies the Wi-Fi hasn't kicked out yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's later.
That's interesting.
All right, let's go look at the red car.
Oh, there you go. The car in the tent. Yep. That's different. Good catch, Robert. Good catch. I'll give Robert a bell for noticing that. But I'm wondering why or how they did that. That's interesting. That's a good catch, Robert. You're paying attention. So there's your new floor. Yeah. What is that thing?
Looks like some kind of tire mount.
Oh. Yeah, and those do look like, I'm pretty sure those are the 68. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, because I know they're different. They weld on different. But otherwise, I mean, the pan looks like it's in good shape. Nothing. You said they had started to put it in or something and then backed out of it?
Yeah. See how the back is shaved right here? Can you see that?
Oh, yeah. They were going to put tubs in it.
Yeah, they started doing that, so I'm just going to finish what they did. And it's just going to add an extra 2 inches.
Sure.
Yep. Which, I mean, these are in pretty good shape. The inners are actually in pretty good shape. I was like, do I really want to do it or not? I'm like,
Yeah, that's a tough decision.
Yeah. It's a lot of extra work.
Yeah.
But I think at this point, it doesn't really matter.
No, it doesn't. All right. We got Nick checking in. He says, hey, guys, just got done putting the driver's side frame rail in for my mini tubs. Now I'm eating barbecue and staring at you guys. Pretty good day. Nice. Okay. I'll give you a bell for that, man. Glad you're here. Yeah, Robert, man, he gets the #1 bell today for noticing that. I wasn't even looking at that. I was looking for the rocker panel and the corner, and Jorge was going all over the place. I tried to point for him, but I couldn't do it. But,
it's a lot. Yeah, it's hard on a laptop. It's a lot easier on a phone.
Sure it is. Yes, Steve. It is a pretty good looking garage. Pretty clean, as he is saying. All right, so David's checking out on us. Appreciate you being here, David. Thank you. Let's see. Terry Baptist, have you heard of the Lid Concept Mustang? Lid Concept Mustang. I have not. So you have to enlighten us on that. Yeah, Robert, that is very odd that toe kick is a different year. They must have had some reason. The only thing I can think is if it had that circular recess. I saw a video where somebody had done a custom car and they put speakers in there.
Right.
And I don't know if that would give a little bit of more space for a deeper speaker. Maybe that's.
Yeah, I think it does. Yeah. I mean, it looks like there is a speaker hole. I mean, maybe they that came with front speakers or something, maybe.
I don't know. It's hard to. Somebody would have had to add them. You know, you wouldn't buy the car like that. And Bernie is saying he likes the lower lights on the wall. See, I wasn't even looking at that. So you got lights on the lower wall, I guess.
Yeah, because I can't see, so it helps.
Yeah, I know all about that.
You guys want to take a tour around the shop?
Yeah, they probably do. They probably do. I'll let you. Yeah, show them. If you want to show around, go ahead. I mean, I'm impressed by your little room right there.
Well, all right. So this is a 100-year-old house. It's a 100-year-old garage. So I had to do a bunch of modifications to this. This garage was actually leaning over one time. So what we did was we insulated it. We put a heater in it, redid the wiring, put 220 in it, ran all kinds of lines. And so what I have is there's lights on the bottom.
Okay. LEDs?
Yeah, all LEDs on the bottom, and then I have fluorescence up top because the fluorescence actually give you more of a floodlight effect.
Yeah.
It's a better color. And then then I put the air conditioner in, and actually it's hooked up to the Wi-Fi. So the nice thing is I can cool off the room, but before I get in here because I'm about an hour away from the garage.
Yep.
And then this is the
condensation.
Condensation pipe system. I just added a fan to it. So it blows cold, just blows some air on it just to help it out. So far, it's been working really, really well.
Well, slow down. I want to see that. Go back to that. So, okay, so you put in elbows and did the crisscross. So it comes out from the wall a little bit, right?
Yes.
Okay. It's hard to see that from this without
without the angle? Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so your feed goes to the top.
Yep.
And then it snakes down like one of those Plinko games.
Yeah, it comes in from here. I don't know if you can see that.
Yep.
So it comes in here, goes down, and then it starts to zigzag on the way up.
Oh,
it goes back down. Then it goes back down again. Then it goes back up, and then this line here, you can see it. That goes down to the basement. That's where I had the glass beater in there.
Okay.
And then it goes up, goes across, goes down, and then it goes into this. So it goes to another drain.
Man.
And then there's another filter, and then one of the toilet paper filters.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it works good. Works really well.
I mean, it's not a cheap investment. You got a lot of stuff involved there.
Well, the thing was, I used to do plumbing. I worked for a plumbing company for a while. They went out of business. They gave me a bunch of stuff, when they laid me off. So I was like,
okay. So you have an advantage.
Well, I mean, I did buy. I had a lot of the elbows and fittings and stuff.
Yeah.
That's where it gets crazy. And then the compressor's in here.
Okay.
Turn on the light.
And that has a vent.
Yeah. Well, so what I did was, this is I had to make this quiet because this thing sounds like a 50 cal going off in this small room. So I insulated the hell out of it. And then what I did was that these are exhausts. So that's what that's an attic fan.
You're cutting out on me.
And then I have a thermostat, so it starts pulling the heat out.
Oh, okay.
So that just kind of turns on the attic fan, and it pulls the heat out.
Nice.
It's really quiet. It's really quiet.
I'll bet.
I mean, before it was bad.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a nice setup.
Yeah, and then then got a refrigerator, microwave. I think I need to get a coffee pot.
Yeah.
Oh, and then we hooked up a TV so we can watch your videos.
Well, that's cool. You just need a bed now.
Oh. Yeah, when I get the basement finished, I'll show you that next time.
Yeah, that's nice.
Oh shit! One other cool thing I got to show you. This is pretty neat.
Okay.
So there's a monster fan down here. I don't know if you can see that.
Oh yeah.
So and then I made this filter box for it.
And that's just to cool the shop, pull air out, or what?
Yeah, pulls all the air out in case I want to start painting in here and I just want to blow stuff out or primer or whatever.
Yeah.
It goes through the filters. Works pretty good. I mean, it'll suck the door closed pretty good.
That's a lot better than what I have.
Hey, I wanted to ask you, what do you think about those Harbor Freight? And then the welder. You can see that. So,
Oh yeah, that's a nice one.
It's a TIG, MIG, and ARC.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you guys, I don't recommend it. I mean, it's a nice machine. It does everything, but if you're really trying to TIG with it, it doesn't really work great. It'll do it, but it's for the money you're paying for it. It's really a Mickey Mouse TIG. It wouldn't, it's a great MIG, works awesome. But
yeah, that's why I bought that separate TIG. I didn't want to have multi-function welder. I just wanted to have it by itself, and so.
Well, and I got a plasma cutter, so I got a Thermco, which is really nice. It actually is supposed to take off the spot welds, which I haven't figured that out yet. I keep blowing holes, so I went back to the drill.
Yeah. So what were you gonna ask? You were gonna ask me something about Harbor Freight.
Oh yeah, so this thing.
Oh yeah.
The spot welds. What do you think of one of these?
I've never used one. So you're gonna have to let me know what you think.
All right, I'll do that.
Yeah. I would be interested in knowing how that works. Now I will say this. I don't know with your obviously some engineering thoughts you have in your mind with the way you built your shop and everything. I used a piece of equipment that was pretty heavy to squeeze 1/4-inch rivets. Okay, these were titanium rivets that I had to crush.
Oh, for aircraft stuff.
Yeah, and we had this squeeze gun we called it Bertha, and this thing weighed by itself probably 80 pounds. Okay, this whole big gun. So look, I know that is not a light tool.
No.
But what we had on Bertha, we used, and this is overkill for what you're doing, but we had an overhead crane type deal.
Right, with a cord on it so that you can maneuver it.
It was a springy cord type deal that you could push it around, Now I don't know how, you don't have a lot of space, obviously, to put in like a cherry picker or something where you could hang one of those, but I'm just saying, I've thought about it before. If I ever do get one of those, I would consider something along those lines to where I could, be able to handle it without it lugging me down all the time. So
what I was thinking, what I was thinking was modifying it and using I was thinking maybe just using some vice grips like these, put the electrodes and the cables on there like that, and kind of go around, I'm trying to drag around with, maybe like 3-foot cables and just kind of.
I don't think you can add vice grips to that. I think something would go boom.
No. No. It was something like that.
Okay.
But like it would be like a vice grips kind of setup, but it wouldn't be vice grips. It would be like
right.
With the electrodes, with like arc welding cable coming out to them.
Yeah, but whatever it is, you have to have it isolated. Because obviously one side's positive, one side's negative. So
it can hurt. That can really hurt.
You can't have the hinge system being connected in any way. So let me go back up for a minute. We have a question from Mark. It says, Jorge, how do you like the car tent? Is it pretty good at keeping the car dry?
Yeah, it actually worked out pretty good so far. The trick is you want to buy a big tarp to put underneath it, and then you want to make your own stakes, because these things turn into sails and they just fly across the yard. That's the biggest problem with them. So you definitely want to, like what I did is I used a bunch of 2x4s. I just got like the length of the whole tent, and then I screwed down the 2x4s. I screwed the tent on the 2x4s, and then I had big stakes, and I drilled these big stakes that I made, and I just drove them into the ground, and that's been holding up pretty good.
What'd you use, like rebar or something?
Yeah. So like 3/8 rebar, and just bent them and pounded them in really, really good.
Okay.
The stuff that they give you, it's a joke. It's like,
Right.
But it's been holding up so far, pretty good. I'm hoping to get at least a couple years out of it.
Sure. Bernie says you got a nice setup. Yeah. And Steve says I need to get a new segment called Viewers Garages. That would be nice. That would be nice. But I know I've seen your garage, Steve. I've seen it, and I just know it would just be clutter. It would just be clutter and stuff all over the place for the most part. I think Jorge is a little more anal with his stuff. He's got it nice and organized, nice and tight.
Well,
I like that.
That's not what I mean when I'm working. No, it's because I was off for a couple of days, so I've just been kind of like it. When I get to a point where I can't go forward, so I just like I'll clean or do something.
Yeah, I mean that's good. That's good. James Jordan heard the 220 model worked best. So I don't know what your Miller is, but he's thinking the 220 works.
Yeah, this is a 215. Yeah, the 220 is a better machine.
Okay.
But there's also a lot more. So at the time, I kind of got it on sale, and I was like, I just wanted to get back into TIGging. And oh shit, yeah, actually.
So Nick says he has a Miller Dynasty 300. It's a friggin' beast. I do make for most.
It's like a refrigerator.
What's that?
It's about the size of a refrigerator.
But Nick was saying he does MIG for most and TIG for anything that needs to be malleable. Or if I want to silicon bronze braze, he bleeds blue. All right, I'll give you a bell for that, Nick. I had a Miller-Matic what was it? Miller-Matic 130 at one time. Fantastic welder. I think I just wore it out, and at the time I couldn't afford to buy another one. And so I ended up getting that Lincoln 140T that I'm using. We actually had somebody come to the body shop, and they brought that welder still in the box. I don't know. They had bought it, and they tried to use it. And they didn't know what they were doing. But they brought it to the shop, and they said, hey, are you interested in this welder? And what the funny part was, I had just bought one, the same model, I think, or maybe a 140 from – I don't know, Lowe's or Home Depot or something. And at that time it was, I don't know, $300, $400. I don't remember what the number was. But anyway, this guy brought this welder, and it has a spool gun on it. I think if you can do TIG, whatever, I don't know, or aluminum, sorry. But anyway, he brought this in, and I said, what do you want for it? He said, I want $100 for it. I was like,
that's it? Wow. Dude, there you go.
I threw $100 at him. And I didn't even take the other one out of the box yet. I just bought it the day before. I took it back to wherever, Lowe's or Home Depot, and I said, here, I want my money back. And they gave it back. So that welder that I'm using, that Lincoln, I've been using it here in the shop since probably 2007. I've been using that thing 13 years. And if you've been watching my videos, that is the only welder that I've used in that time period. And I mean, I've put spool after spool after spool through that thing, and it just keeps on chugging. So I can't complain about the Lincoln. I like the Millers, but I can't complain about my Lincoln. So
that's pretty good. That's good. Yeah, no, they make a good machine. That's pretty good.
Yeah,
I think I might get it. I mean, down the road, I'm thinking about getting a TIG, but I'm probably gonna get like I was looking at the Everlast or Everlast, I think.
Yeah, I think that's a brand. Well,
yeah. Well, AC, like an AC/DC.
Yeah.
TIG, I think is probably the better way because this thing is. I'm so used to welding with high frequency start that trying to use a scratch start or lift start. I'm like,
Well, have you seen that Vulcan that I bought?
Yeah,
It's
that was pretty nice. I was looking at that too.
High frequency start on it. So I'm no good with it, but I have one. So Steve's cleaning up his garage now. That's good. That's good to know. Oh, what do you got?
So check this out. So I took your idea, and what I did was I took a vice grip, and I took the nut off, and I just welded it.
Okay.
So I actually used a TIG on it. So it's got really good penetration on it.
Looks good.
And, yeah. Now the nice thing is just put it right here to the slide hammer.
Ah, see, that was creative.
Yeah, no, I took the idea. I saw it. I was like, hey. Now the nice thing is too is that it's really nice setup with this because you can switch around vice grips and put different type.
That's
Like
true.
put that, so you can put the fat one on there, the skinny one on there.
Yeah. So, maybe I need to steal your idea, your version of it, and make a video of it. My own version video, and let people start watching that. That would have been a good video.
Oh, when I made this?
Yeah.
Oh shit! I got. Let me show you a really cool tool. This is the last. You got to see this.
Okay. Let me slide through and see what else I've got going on here.
I can see that.
Okay. So it's got a vacuum on it. Where'd you get that?
This was from Amazon.
Okay.
And it was like $18 for the plastic hub, and then the hose was like another $12-13 for the hose.
All right.
So what you do is I plug it into the vacuum cleaner, and then I have a relay switch on it. So when I click on the cutter, it'll turn on the vacuum and it sucks it all out. It gets about 90% of it. You almost don't need a mask, but it works great. And the nice thing is, actually I did a small video of it.
Yeah.
It looks really cool because you can see all the sparks coming through it.
Sounds like you could catch your vacuum on fire.
I thought we were thinking about that.
But you got some length on that hose, so it's going to cool down before it gets there.
Yeah, it's pretty long. It's about 12 feet.
I love this thing.
What is that? That looks pretty cool.
That is just a 4.5-inch grinder, but this is that bad boy cutting disc. Okay.
Oh, look at that.
This is diamond coated or diamond layered. I bought this at SEMA last year. Bad Dog Tools.
Discover the name of it. Wait. There you go.
Bad Dog Tools.
Cool.
But let me tell you, these are available on Amazon. I'm just telling you right now, they have a lifetime guarantee on them.
No way, really?
Yes, but they're not cheap. This disc, I think, is like $130.
Wow.
But lifetime guarantee. So we all know what that really means is you're paying for like 5 of these, and you eventually get another one. But I have cut all kinds of stuff with this. Not a problem. I even use it to grind down welds, to knock down some welds. Yeah, this thing is killer. I like it.
Is that what you use for removing spot welds?
I haven't used it yet for spot welds. I have not. I usually use the 3-inch fibrous disc. I call them Ziz wheels. I usually use one of those to grind through the top of the weld and break it loose. But this thing, handy. So
gotta get it.
Let me see. We got some other. Let me get caught up on some questions and stuff. We got BK Woods is here. Glad you're here. Nick is saying water cooled inverter TIG, not too bad.
Oh yeah.
Let's see.
Yep.
Bernie, I have an old 350 Synchro Wave I got from my father. It's a Titanic. Okay. Steve, Footage Factory after. Oh, Scott is talking to Steve there. Let me get back here a little bit. Steve has a conundrum. Here's my conundrum. I want to buy the welder that's on your Amazon Associates. I need to buy a different welder for when I'm overseas. I literally have no clue what plugins they use. Yeah, I don't either.
Where are you going?
He's got a house in Scotland that he's moving to. So I know they have a crazy system there, but maybe if we have some other people here, I don't know if Ricardo is here or not. They might be able to chime in on that. That should be a pretty easy thing to resolve, though, I would think. I'm sure they make adapters. It's just like our camper. When we go to a campground, if we were to go to a campground, they sell these connectors where you can adapt your configuration to whatever pole is available at the campground. So
yeah, we went over to for vacation. We went over to like 4 years ago. We went to New Zealand. Everything over there was 220, like even a lamp. Everything's like it was like really crazy.
Wow.
And like they have all these crazy adapters. So we got one adapter to plug in for the phones, and that blew up. It's like, okay, that was wrong.
yeah,
But they were selling them. They actually sold adapters when we got there. So we got them. But yeah, it's definitely way different, especially driving on the wrong side of the road too. That's another fun thing.
So Nick is saying that grinder is not a grinder; it's a Flowbee. It's one of those hair cutter things you use to suck the hair up and cut it.
Well, the reason I got it is because the guy that helps me is really one of my best friends who's been helping me with the car, Steve Namo, called Captain Nemo, and really great guy, but he has problems breathing and stuff. So in order to get his help, I had to come up with some ways to keep the dust down so that he would keep coming around to help me. So kind of came up with that. And then we also have another one for
thank you, Bernie. Thumbs up. I appreciate it. Good call. You get a bell for that. Oh, now we get another one.
Yeah, this one is for
fiber
grinding. Yeah, with a fiber's wheel on it.
Yeah.
And this works pretty good. It gets about 80% of it. Really keeps the dust down.
Cool. That's good. I've not looked into that at all. Let me see here. Oh, we got Jack here. Jack showed up. A little late, but he's here. That's good. Robert, 50 hertz. Oh, he's saying 50 hertz there in
That's
Scotland.
a big deal. That's a big deal, yeah. Most of the machines run on 60 hertz in this country. I don't know, so that's you can always kind of go up and down with voltage, but the hertz is a really big deal with electronics.
Yeah, Robert's saying 230 with 50 hertz. The hertz is the issue more so with motors though. Okay. Rick Stevenson, Scotland uses 220 50 hertz with some unusual looking plugs. Well, I'll agree with you on that. I know they have crazy looking plugs. And how did that happen? Because electricity, where did it start? Tesla.
Well,
Nikola Tesla. And we had, we'd come up with that simple plug-in. It's simple, boom. And then they come up with all these crazy configurations. Come on. Wait a minute.
I still can't figure out how come they're driving on the other side of the road. That still does, and they're not all the same. It's like some countries are that way, some don't.
Yeah, I don't know for sure.
You have to buy a McLaren. This way you drive in the middle of the car and you don't have to worry about it.
So Terry is saying, what part of Australia does Jorge live in? He's not in
New Jersey.
He's in New Jersey. Way different. Way different. Australia is full of all kinds of crazy animals that'll kill you. New Jersey's just full of taxes.
Well, yeah.
Well, that's some cool stuff you got. I mean, that's anything to keep cut down on the dust, especially with my shop is big and dust flies everywhere, debris. I'll put my mask on and I'll do my thing, but I'll blow it out or sweep it out all the time just to try to keep it cleaned up. But that's what you've got going on with that wheel. And then, like I said, you got that big fan. I think it's an awesome setup. Yeah,
no, it really helps keep that. Like I said, it's a small shop. The compressor was just, it was crazy, man. It was just like, artillery, and
then there's a door behind you, right?
No, there could be.
No door?
No, there's no door. I could put a door there. I mean, I have it set up for a curtain. So when I start spraying really nasty stuff or something, I can just kind of like block it a little bit, like suck it out, so. Yeah.
Because I was kind of thinking about that. It's one thing to have the fan pulling, but that fan it's not all going to go like a funnel. It's just going to like come in there
right,
and then go out. We know how that works. So my thought was, if there was a door or something along those lines and you had like a big piece of, ventilation duct that you could put in the door or put in a panel and snake that thing right to the fan, so it just
Yeah, I
sucks it
thought
right in.
about, yeah, I thought about doing that. I think what I'm probably do is just like put it like a curtain kind of thing, you know, like a thick plastic curtain, and then kind of do that, you know, just kind of roll it out.
Yeah.
I mean, I sprayed cars in here when I was a kid, and I just had 2 fans in the windows. And that worked all right. I kind of what you have. Same setup. It worked great. You know.
Yeah.
They were small cars.
Robert is saying 220 is better than our low voltage, but the higher the hertz we have is more efficient. You hearing that? I don't know if you hear that or not. People are setting off fireworks, which is fine. I have no problem with that. And I want to point this out again. If everybody's looking here on the bottom of the screen is the email. So if you want to be on the show, send me an email and I will send you a link and we can get you on here and we can talk about cars, whatever else is going on. So you had some time off, you were saying.
Yeah, I got a lot of vacation time though, but up in New Jersey, I mean, there's really nowhere to go because of the virus.
Yeah.
They just started opening up the beaches. They just started opening up some stuff, some of the parks, but everything's got all these restrictions on it. It's just a real hassle. It's getting better up here, but it's still there's still about 150 people dying a day, so it's still a problem. But
yeah.
So I had a lot of time off. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to work on a car, take my mind off and stuff, just work on cars, clean up the shop, just get the hell out of Dodge. I turned on my email. That was a mistake. Oh, crap. Oh, I should have shut that off. But no, I'm really fortunate. I got a really good job. I can take, I got a lot of time I can take. But like I said, there's really nowhere to go. Oh, and I was going to ride my bike.
Yeah.
I'm destined to work on a car. So I was going to ride the bike. The weather got real beautiful, right? And then I needed a battery. All right. It's 5 years old. Change it out. I'm riding. All of a sudden, the battery light comes on. Check engine light. Big whole thing. Needs a voltage regulator. Okay. Called 2 dealers. Nobody's got them. All right. I'll buy it on Amazon. Screw it. Buy it on Amazon. I'm still waiting for it. It was like 3-4 weeks later. I was like, I guess I'm working on a car.
Yeah.
Riding. I was gonna ride. I mean, riding a bit. That's about what most people are doing. Just kind of driving around.
Yeah, I don't know why you're lagging for some reason. You're all like broken up. So I'm just gonna bump you off for a second.
Sure.
And we'll just continue on. So Steve is asking, any donations today? Not yet, Steve. But that's a good question. Good question. So if you haven't checked in last time Steve was on, he threw some money at me, and then somebody else threw more money. So let's see, Robert. Yeah. Whoa. I don't know if you're hearing that. Big booms. I don't think I'm going to be able to do a live stream on Wednesday or Thursday. If you're just catching up, my wife says we're going to the lake on Wednesday. So that's our status at this point is we're going to be going to the lake. So I don't plan on doing one on Wednesday or Thursday. So, and I don't know what time we'll be back on Friday. I mean, I could try to do one Friday or something, but it will probably be back late. So it's probably not going to work anyway. But if anybody else, if you want to be on, by all means, send me an email. Let me see what we got. Steve sent me an email. We're going to find out what Steve's got going on. See if he's got his garage cleaned up. And more importantly, hopefully he has clothes on this time. So, yeah, Jorge, I can see you on the stream, but you're still like all jumpy. So I don't know what's going on with your status there. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if you can hear that. Like I said, there's fireworks going on. We're gonna pull. Okay, good. Steve has clothes on today, so we can pull him up. Jorge, I'm just going to hold you in the background a little bit. You're still twitching around. I don't know what's going on. So let me get Steve up here. Oh, there he is.
What's up?
He's here. So what's going on?
So I wanted to review some of my tools a lot like Jorge.
Yeah, sure.
I got this one right here. I got it from the dollar store.
Does it work?
Yeah, it's a really high quality. The warranty on it is if you
6
don't
feet?
use it, you could probably return it.
Yeah. Well,
It's,
what kind of does it come with batteries, or do you have to buy your own?
no, the good thing about this is that the power is through your yeah.
It's manual. It's a manual. Okay.
Yes. Actually, all jokes aside, I want to show you something. So there you are right there. It's kind of
Look
like
at that.
looking in a mirror, you know.
Look at that.
It's on mute right now, but I wanted to show you something. Hey Alexa, pause.
Okay.
Hey Alexa, rewind 30 seconds. I can't do it. 'Cause it's paused. But anyways, what I do is when I'm underneath the car,
Yeah.
and I'm watching your channel on how to do the suspension or whatever, and you do something that's kind of important, instead of getting out from underneath the car because my hands are dirty, I literally yell at the TV and say, rewind 30 seconds. And I must have done that 50 times with your videos.
Awesome.
And I kind of had this business idea. I was like, you know what? For auto shops where people use like, what's the name of those programs where it's the manuals? But
Chilton's, Ames.
No, it wasn't. It's the dealer specific ones. The
I mean, I've got. I don't know. I know what you're talking about.
Well, anyways, I was thinking, they need to plug these programs into voice controls because those mechanics, they got dirty hands and they don't want to get on the computer. And I mean, Alexa, open up Spotify. That's too late. But anyways, you can literally browse with your voice. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Yeah. That's a cool tool.
So yeah, we need to figure out how to capitalize on that so we can both just retire in Scotland together.
Hey, what's that tool in front of the Mustang? What do you use that for?
That's a shovel.
Oh.
Yeah.
Man. Is that for whenever you're talking about stuff and you got to shovel it out the door?
No. This is where I threw the shovel because I can't figure out. Actually, you know what? Look at the TV. It changed.
What?
Spotify.
What?
Alexa.
Yeah, don't put that on there.
Hold on.
No music. I'll have to kill you.
Let's see. Oh no, there's no music. Oh, I see.
Okay.
Because then this whole thing will have to be undone. Don't worry, it's on mute.
Okay, good.
Oh, you want to hear a story?
Yeah, tell us a story.
After I got off the last stream with you, I was talking about my Harbor Freight welder. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna put it on OfferUp. So some dude's like, hey, I'll offer you $70 for it. I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. So I loaded in my truck. And then the dude just goes radio silence on me. I sent him the address. Like, I don't have him meet at my house. Have him meet at a Subway down the street.
Yeah.
And then he just goes radio silence. I don't know where the guy's at. So I'm like, I don't know where you're at, dude. The sun's kind of going down. It's getting kind of late. So I go there. I'm like, hey, I'm here. Just kind of waiting. And all of a sudden he kind of gets on. He's like, dude, I've been waiting for this entire time. So I block his ass while he's waiting because I ain't about to deal with the guy. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to deal with this guy and transfer money or whatever. I'm just like, I just blocked his ass and said, have a nice day, and left him at the Subway.
Yeah. That's crazy.
But now I got this freaking welder in my car and I got to sell the damn thing. And
pawn shop.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Hey, but you know what? I would donate today, but there's no questions I have unless you have any good advice on how to clean my garage.
Yeah. No, I can't give you any simple. I mean, my garage is a mess too.
Hey, did you get your internet? Did you get the wires from your house?
I bought the tool with the connectors, and I bought the plates, couple of dooflicky plates, whatever. I'm waiting on the wire. So ordered up off of Amazon. I have 250 feet of outdoor cable coming, and so I have it. I have stuff. I just have to make it happen.
You look pretty good today. Your quality's pretty good. Are you doing anything different, or is it just kind of how the wind blows?
I shaved.
You shaved, man.
Yeah, that's probably most of it.
Hold on for a second. Yeah, you smell pretty good too. You
Yeah,
smell
thanks.
pretty good.
Well, one thing I did do today, in fact, because I have a regular desktop computer in the house, and I didn't realize that I can put that computer on airplane mode. So I basically, disconnected it in a sense from the internet.
Okay.
And I thought, well, maybe that'll help, eliminate a draw because it has YouTube on and everything else on it.
I see.
So I thought maybe if I shut that down, it might help.
I think that actually is good reasoning, because all that draw just pulls away, And then get on your wife's phone and put her on airplane mode so she ain't sucking your internet too.
Yeah, I know. But the thing is, my phone's on. It's not hurting it. But anyway, I'm going to still run the wire out here and go from there. Oh, here, Mitchell manuals. Robert's saying Mitchell.
No, what was it? I used to work for 4-Wheel Parts, and I was basically the
Gopher
service. I was a service writer.
Oh,
and when I would go out there, I'd go see the guys. They were on a website that actually had all the manuals, but they brought them into one website.
All data.
That's what I'm talking about. And I was thinking to myself, All Data are one of these companies. They really, because you got the guys on the computer, you got the dirty hands, and but if you could figure out a way to, I'm talking to the TV, and it walks me through everything,
Well, I could see where that could work, but for a shop with a lot of people in it, it'd be really tough to narrow that down. I think what you would rather probably see is more of a control to where you could have it up on a wall and you could have a manual control to where you could do a scroll. That way you don't have to say, hey, Alexa,
Sure.
And you got 20 guys going, Alexa, whatever.
Hey, Alexa, kiss my ass.
Yeah.
You're like, and here you are trying to do your job and everyone's talking shit.
Yeah. So anyway, so you making any progress on the car?
No, actually, I am not. No. It's kind of on hold right now because I got that. I got to weld those.
Oh, you got to.
Actually, here, let me show you. So, I have to get the patch,
Out of wheelhouse?
I'm trying to decide if I'm going to use the way you did it or if I'm going to buy the patch. So I'm not sure if I showed you this. I think I did. This is the.
Yeah, we saw the wheel thing.
You saw the wheel thing, and then I got
Oh, the roller.
Yeah. So I'm gonna do that next. But realistically, I gotta buy this patch, and I gotta buy the welder.
Well, if you could buy, I don't know if they sell that lower half patch or not. I haven't looked into it, but you could buy an outer wheelhouse and just section it.
Yeah, I'm trying to decide if I'm gonna do that.
They're pretty cheap.
In the meantime, I'm gonna save a little bit of money. I'm gonna just clean my garage, because when I start a big project, my garage just turns to shit. You know what I mean? Yeah. When you clean your garage, when and if you do, how long does it stay clean for?
Depends on what day it is.
How often do you clean your garage?
Not often enough. That's probably the answer I could give you. And the difficulty I have is because I've got the Mustang in the back, I've got the Mustang on the lift, I've got this car here, and I've got pieces and parts all over the place. So
Yeah.
if I want to do some painting in the back, I've got to get the parts out. So those end up out here. Well, because I don't want to get contamination or anything on them. And then, they got to move back. And so it ends up being a big shuffle. But occasionally I just get fed up and I just start throwing stuff in the trash and,
So when my wife was in Scotland last 2 months, she was in Scotland just getting the house squared away. And we both have 2 spare bedrooms. Hold on, I'm not talking to you. So here's my wife's room. Pretty nice.
Yeah.
Here's my room, full of Mustang parts. The windshield, the bumper.
Nice.
This is my
storeroom.
This is my storeroom.
So do you sleep in there with the Mustang parts?
Yeah, I sleep right next to I had 2 TVs in the garage because I was gonna. Yeah, it doesn't matter. I had 2 TVs in the garage, and I realized why. So now I just put it in the bed. That's where it belongs. The TV in the bed.
Sure.
Makes sense. Oh, and then hey, you know what? I do want to show you this. So we got. That's a for the Wi-Fi. It spreads it out.
Yeah, booster.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have one of those in my house.
Oh, and it doesn't work well for the garage, I imagine.
Well, I mean, that's what I'm using right now. So.
Oh, I really?
Yeah, that's all I've been using. But I'm going to be hardwired soon. Yeah, Jorge checked out on us. Sorry about that.
Did he check out? Oh,
yeah.
Man.
Oh, he was in the background. I don't know if he had something else to do, and I wasn't trying to push him away. I know that when you get 3 people on here, it kind of narrows up the screen.
Is there anybody behind me in the queue?
Nope. Nobody else has sent an email, so you're okay. I have something here. Yeah, I got a new name I haven't seen before. Sham Dentley. Happy Memorial Day. Thank you, Sham.
What's up, Sham?
And he has a question, so we're going to see what his question is. In a minute, he's saying, "Show us your dungeon." That's what he was.
I'm here. I'm in the dungeon. Dungeons and Dragons. Jeez.
Yeah, Robert is saying he could have a warehouse for a shop and still wouldn't have enough room to work. Yeah.
No.
All right.
Look at all that stuff. It's just.
Yeah.
Oh, I got that. I want to get the carpet together so I can finally clean my garage. You know what I mean?
That would be nice.
But the problem is I just keep taking stuff off the car. I'm like, oh, sweet. I've hit a point where I can start putting oh, there's rust.
Yeah. Pretty typical.
Yeah. Any more questions?
What's that?
Any more questions?
No, nobody's no more questions are popping up. Sham is backed out. I think Jorge is back.
Jorge, you back?
We'll see. Let me see if I can pull him up. I don't know what he's doing. Let me see. There he is.
Can you hear me okay? Is that better? Or that's
that's
trying to
better.
get a signal.
Yeah, that's better. You're a little bit fuzzy, but now you're clearing up. There you are. You're looking good.
Cool.
Hey Alexa,
right.
Make Jorge clearer.
Alexa, finish my car.
You need to have Alexa add filter to make me look younger.
Alexa, make my hairline go lower.
Yeah, there you go.
Hey, I got a trick for my hairline. If I ever want to make it go lower, I just look surprised.
There you go.
So, Steve, so what was wrong with the Harbor Freight welder?
It was just the flux, and I got to start doing panels.
Oh.
And I just I gotta go to MIG. And last time I had my MIG welder, the gases, I ended up bursting the line because I put too much PSI through it. So yeah,
that's what you're working towards. Just
Alexa,
take it all.
make us look better.
Just take it all off. Okay, so Sham has thrown a question out here. Let's see if we can get this. The battery. Oh, wait a minute. What? the battery in my key fob died. That's not a Mustang question. And now when I try to unlock the car with the key, the alarm goes off and the car won't start. So it's got a built-in safety feature.
What kind of car is that?
I don't know. But that's a built-in anti-theft device is what's going on there. You'd have to look at your system to know, is it a dealer key fob or is it an aftermarket? Because there's got to be a sequence you got to go through. A lot of times you have to like hold a button and then hit the unlock button or something to reset it. But I don't know. That's not a question I'm going to be able to answer for you.
I used to have a Toyota Camry Hybrid 2011. It had a fob, and the battery would die every 2 years. So if it's a Toyota, which maybe it is, if you head to the Toyota dealership, they automatically know what part it is, and they'll even swap it out for you.
Well, here's some more information. It's a stolen car. So
hey Alexa, what's up with this asshole asking weird
No. He says he didn't steal it. I don't know. I just have to take his word for it. But yeah, there's definitely something going on there. I can't answer that question.
Now I know why his name's Sham.
Here's the question for Scott is saying, hey Steve, what engine do you have and what color are you going to paint the car when ready?
All right, so the engine that I have, I'm actually using as a closet right now. I'm resting boxes against it. No, I'm just kidding. It's a Coyote out of a 2012 F-150. So right now it produces, as it sits, it's about 360 horsepower. I was going to swap the cams out to try to get more horsepower out, like a Mustang GT engine. But I was just thinking, screw it, man. 360 horsepower and what the hell is this going to weigh?
Nothing.
Right.
And
Yeah.
even later on, if I wanted to hop it up a little bit more, I was gonna I don't know, put bolt-ons, like maybe long tube headers and some kind of cool intake. Shit, even supercharge it if I really want that much horsepower.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Steve, it's you're still dealing with 60s handling technology. It's really hard to make things really stick on the road.
He's upgrading the suspension. I know that much. So he's got the coil. He's got the TCI kit, just like in the Brooklyn Pony.
Oh, cool.
So so he's got a lot tied up in that. As far as
for the color, to be honest, I've been to body shop, and they're like, 10 grand for this, 10 grand from that, and I'm just like, I want to drive this car. It's not a show car. I'm almost even thinking like a regular. I mean, realistically, I can even put a wrap on it after if I'm like, oh, you know what? I want to put a neon green. So I was just gonna do a high quality Mako paint job, and
the
the
thing is, Mako they can do a really good paint job.
Yeah,
but you are better off doing all the prep work and making sure it's ready to go and clean and spotless, no glass, nothing, and get it to them. Let them spray it, and you're good.
And it's almost prepped right now. I mean, look at the primer. I mean, it's shit. There's not really much. I got a blast. There's really not much else.
Just tell them, you want to tell them to put a lot of extra clear on it, and just ask them to, ask them what kind of paint you're using and if they have different grades, because I know they used to get that stuff by the barrel, like 55-gallon barrel of paint, so you really, but they do a good job. I mean, for a paint job, but Barry's right, just it's the prepping, I remember back I think it was in the 80s and stuff. I mean, they would just spray the whole car and they would clean the windshield with alcohol or lacquer thinner, I mean, they painted over the rubber seals and everything.
Whoever that guy was asking that question, if he goes to my channel, I actually have a video of me running that engine in that spot right there.
Okay.
Cool.
And I wanted to get the engine running, so I grounded it good. I connected the computer up and everything, and just fired the thing up. Couldn't believe it. Just ran it. And then I revved it one time, and the thing freaking tilted because of all the torque. I'm like, don't rev that engine.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's going to be plenty of power for you, Steve. I mean, I would just keep it. It's going to be reliable power too. That's what's nice. You start messing around with cams. Every time you change one thing, you got to change like 5 other things down the road to make it work right. It's really, you just don't throw stuff in there, especially those kind of engines, man. They're tuned,
Yeah.
The nice thing about the engine is it's kind of like a VCR where you just plug it in and it works. The bad thing about the engine is that if you were to put, like a 5.0 in here or a 289 or whatever, it just goes into place. If you put a Coyote in, now I got to figure out how to route the master cylinder, the fuck, you know what I mean? All that, the clutch. I called a place in San Diego because I'm on the West Coast, right? And the nearest place, in fact, if there's anybody viewing right now that knows anybody who does Coyote swaps on the West Coast, north of San Diego, please let me know in the comments. But I messaged this guy in San Diego, and he says, "Yeah, I'll do it for you. You got to give me like 2 months heads up." So, I don't have experience with a Coyote, and I don't want it done wrong. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, and Steve, I'm not picking at you, but I know you almost got off the chart there with some language. So,
sorry.
Don't do that. Not here.
Apologize. Sorry.
I had somebody called the Realist Iceman made some comment that I didn't think was appropriate, so I just froze him for 5 minutes.
Sorry. Don't freeze me.
No. I'm just saying because other people watch this. It's not us just having a conversation right here. There's a whole group of people that watch these videos. So I keep it clean on purpose.
You sound like my parents right now.
Well, I am.
And what's even funnier is you're staying on topic like my parents do. What's the next topic?
The next topic is Bob Daniel is asking a question. He's saying, first he says, "What's up, guys?" And then he says, "Are we taking questions?" Where'd he go? Yeah, Bob Daniels. So yeah, Bob Daniels with an exclamation point at the end of his name. That's interesting. So, yeah, Bob, if you got a question, put it out here. And let's see. Sham is saying he's got a guy in Jola.
La Jolla. I think he's probably talking about San Diego.
Okay.
He's talking about the same. If there's anybody viewing anything much north of San Diego, I'm Portland area. So if there's anybody nearby Portland, let me know that does Coyote swaps.
Oh, okay. Terry Baptist, my friend, had car painted by Mako. He had to sue them because they painted his windows. Yeah, leave the windows in. Bob Shoemaker, Mako is very hard to match down the road. If needed, they seem to miss the formula specs by a bunch, even skipping a tint. Yeah. So it's a reason you're only paying $100 for a paint job, but they can paint. I'm saying they can paint.
They have water-based paint out there because that's California, right?
Steve doesn't know, but I'm sure it has to be.
Yeah, that's the other thing too. What do you think of water-based paint chemicals?
I mean, I've heard great things from it. My PPG rep, he said everybody's going to it. You just have to have the right equipment. You have to have the right airflow and all that stuff to make it work. So I'm unsure what Bob is implying here, but he's saying my girl's been getting into trucks and it's starting to bother me because she'll hit on guys that drive them. Okay.
Not that kind of show today.
Yeah, I don't have an answer for you that on Bob. You're gonna have to.
First, I start cussing. Next, you get questions like that.
Yeah, gonna have to shut the thing down, man.
It's going downhill.
Shut it down. Maybe I need to put a disclaimer up front when the video starts. It's a clean show for a reason. So
the problem is we get on halfway, so you almost need to put it next to your email. Joe Daddy, no cussing.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah, like Terry said, this is a G-rated audience. Because like I pointed out, VW Auto Resto, he watches this with his kids. And I prefer to, keep it nice for those that are watching with family and stuff like that. So anyway,
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the reason I went through all this trouble, was to get my kids involved. You know,
sure.
and he got interested, and so now he's debating if he wants to, maybe go into auto engineering. So
yeah,
that's why we went crazy with all this stuff. I mean, this insane amount of money spent on getting this just to get to this point.
Sure.
But it's definitely worth it getting the kids involved. I like to see more kids get involved in this kind of thing.
Yeah. Sham is asking a question. He says, my question is for Barry. What company did you use to design the hat? I assume you're talking about the logo. I had a friend who is a graphic designer who actually came up with the sticker first, or the logo for the sticker. And this is just a variation. So the guy that designed the logo, he was just a graphic designer. I don't know his name. Steve has a generic hat with no logo. And who designed that for you?
The mall.
The mall.
They designed it.
Yeah, they did a good job.
They put
it fits, matches your, everything.
Yeah, you would have thought with enough money as I donated your channel out, I got a hat for free.
You would think, but that's not how it works.
Hey, I've been helping out. I've been buying a lot of stuff through Amazon through your channel.
That's a good deal.
If I can convince people to donate $100 today, can I get a free hat?
If you can convince somebody, are you talking an individual or a whole group?
Whether it's one person that's $100 or 10 people that's $10.
I'll tell you what, Steve, you get the ball rolling. If you can get $100 of donation today, I will send you an autographed hat.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just like Jorge has.
Okay,
he's got an autographed hat. Look, look.
That's gonna be worth a lot of money one day.
Could be. You never know.
Keep
you
me
never
on.
know.
I'm gonna make a sign. Don't worry though. It'll be G-rated. Let me make a sign.
Good.
Keep it stay right there.
Let's see. Real Size Man, happy summer vacation. Yes, thank you, Real Size Man. Where are we at here? Octagon Garage. I purchased a 30-volt DC power supply on Amazon through your Amazon page. Hope it helps out. Thank you, Octagon. I appreciate that. Okay. Need donations.
Okay, that's not good enough. Hold on.
Yeah, you can do better than that.
Come on, we gotta do better.
Jam Dentley, I want to get one that says my roommate Trey is bad at Monopoly. You can have that made. I know you can have that made. But I can tell you this. I will be honest. To get this logo set up to be screened or to be stitched, because I had it stitched on a jacket and a shirt, and then I had to get it stitched on a hat. I think it was like, oh gosh, the setup fee was over $100 just to get it set up, just for that part of it. I don't remember the exact figures, but it was over $100. It may have been even higher than that. So that was to get the initial, and then they keep it on file. So if I decide to get something else done, so if you're looking at getting a hat made up, you may want to look at something you can just get printed or like a screen print, because let's see, I want a signed hat. So donate $10 today.
All right, that's how you get the ball rolling.
There you go. Let's see. Let's see, where are we at here? Bob Daniel's going to call in and show you guys my 65 that I just got finished yet restoring. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Send me an email. Send me an email.
I'll get on.
Here's the email. Hold on a second.
Hey. Oh.
So there's the email. Steve, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, you're on your own, buddy.
All right.
So I'm going to sign you off. Glad you're here. Get stuff done in the car, man.
For sure. Hey, I know you probably won't be on later this week, so I'll look for you Monday.
Monday. I will be here Monday.
All right, guys. Hey, nice seeing you guys.
You too. Talk to you
Take
later.
care.
See ya.
See you.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Let me go back to my comments here. Yeah, Real Iceman, that's a hat. Yep. Here we go. Terry Baptist would love to see the fastback. So if he sends me an email, I'll send him the connection. Barry McKinnis. Hey, yo, love the channel. Bit of sub for a fat minute. Cool. Glad you're here. VW. Thumbs up, guys. Work on the cars gives me a chance to connect with my kids. We did a video last week to fix the plastic headlights on a Prado. My 13-year-old handled the buff and 2,000 grit paper. Awesome. That's good to hear. That's good to hear. Thank you for that. That's what I want to see more kids involved with this stuff. Sham says he will ask his mom for money. Phil Miller. Hey, Steve, tell us how to donate. Well, he's gone, but I'll tell you how this works. Or Jorge, I think you've done it. There's on the video link, on the video on the right-hand side at the bottom of all the chat, at the bottom of the chat, there's two ways. I think there's a dollar symbol. Is that right?
Yes.
Dollar symbol, and then there's like a sticker symbol. And so if you click on either one of those, it shows you how to do it. So, yeah, that's what Scott is saying as well. $ button near the bottom of the chat. Yeah.
Yeah, chat. Yes.
All right. So we got King Custom Garage is in the house. Glad he showed up. Too. If you would, throw a thumbs up on the video for me. That all helps. Steve is saying, press the $ and I'll show you how to do it. Barry McKinnis, I have a Shelby GT500. My dad bought it for me, but I crashed it leaving a car meet. Got it fixed, though. Oh, man. Okay. That seems to be a common thing, Mustangs at car shows and crashes.
Yeah, everybody gets all hyped up, and those things you got a lot of power.
Yeah, and people don't realize it.
No,
easy to get out of control, real fast. Thank you, Rick. Thank you for that thumbs up. King Custom gave me a peace symbol. Awesome. Hopefully we get to see that Phil, because Phil and Phil has recently. I'll just give Phil a shout out because I recognize the name. He's started following me on Patreon, so I appreciate Phil, and I'm mailing him out a sticker tomorrow, so it's in the mail. Just so you know, it's coming, Phil.
What's Patreon?
What's that?
What's Patreon? What is
Patreon? It's Patreon. At the top of my page, I think there's a link as well. It's like a little, maybe a letter P or something. There's an Amazon link and a Instagram link and maybe a Patreon link.
Yeah,
Patreon is just, what a lot of people do with Patreon, and I don't do it. But what a lot of people do, they'll have a Patreon account, and we're talking like people that have 1 million subscribers or whatever. They kind of force those people to pay to watch the videos in a way. And what happens is they'll make a teaser video. Let's just say today I'm going to wire up this, to my house and blah, blah, blah. And they might show little clips, and they'll say for the rest of the video, go to my Patreon page and the video will be there. But to watch that video on Patreon, they'll charge you $5 or $20 or $25 or whatever it is. And that's the way they make money, is by making a teaser type thing on YouTube and then forcing people to go pay directly to watch the videos. I don't do that. I'm not into that. But somebody had suggested to me a couple of years ago that I should create a Patreon page. So what it is, and I have like 10 or 12 people that donate to the cause, let's say. So I've got some people that give me $1 a month. They just $1 a month. Okay, fine. That's great. I have some people that give me $5 a month, you know, and that's fantastic. I appreciate every little bit that comes in is helpful. And so what I have, I call it Garage Gang Level 1 or something. And basically what it is, you know, if somebody wants to become a $5 patron, I'll send them a sticker, you know, get something for their donation. And it's whether they do it once or they continue it, because the way it's usually set up is it goes every month. It'll take $1 out of the, you know, put $1 in or whatever. So, I mean, and it's some people, I've had some people donate. Oh, I got a $10 sticker up here. Hold on. Phil Miller, he donated $10. So Steve,
wow. $90 to go, Steve.
Steve, you're $10 up, man. You're $10 up, 90 to go. Thank you, Phil. I appreciate that. Let me see if I don't see. Okay. All right. So I'm going to send, oh, wow. That's a nice car, Bob. I'm going to send Bob a link so he can get on here as well. And we may have to just go to one person. So, but Phil, I appreciate that. But anyway, I've had some people donate to, like, I had somebody the other day, they commented that what was it? Either a brake job or some video that I posted saved them money and time. And they said, if I hadn't seen this video, I would have spent $400 at a brake shop to have put this together.
Right.
He said, your video, I only had to buy the materials. Can I donate? And I said, sure. If you want to send money to Patreon or even PayPal, whatever, fine. And that's what he did. He sent me like $10 or $20 or something. I don't remember. And it's, it's just an option, because some people like Phil, he's donating money to this cause, and partly for Steve. But the reality is, and I'm not trying to turn this into something it isn't, but the reality is I save people a lot of money. I mean, when it comes down to it, if you're looking at repair videos or how-to videos or any of that stuff, it's like if my brake videos are very detailed and lots of people are able to do the brakes themselves. Well, you know what, if you take your car to a shop, they're going to get you. I mean, they're going to get you fast. But if you can do it yourself, it's a lot of money. So some people they're thankful for that, and they want to donate as, a compensation. So I appreciate that. I'm going to see if Bob gets caught up here. I sent him the link, so he's got to work it out. Yeah. So yeah, Scott says he's seen up to $100 that people have donated, and I have too. I have friends. I've been on their live stream, and all of a sudden, boom, somebody, and I'm not looking for that. I'm just saying it's, let's see what else we have. Let me back up a second. Oh, Barry and Jorge are the Jordan and Pippen of cars. Thank you for all you do. I don't know which one I am, but I'm glad I'm not. What was the crazy guy?
I got the crazy hair. Does that count?
Yeah, but who was the crazy guy with all the piercings on the Bulls team? I can't even think of his name. Rodman. Dennis Rodman.
Oh, Dennis Rodman. Oh, that guy's out there.
Yeah, he's out there. King Custom. Barry, is that your Mustang behind you? No, this is the 65 Impala that I did a walk around video on it before, and I put a radiator in it. I've got to do some other things to it. It's inside to keep it out of the weather. Terry Baptist, the 2020 Shelby GT 500 is pretty awesome. Oh, it should be. That's a lot of technology in that car. Scott, there's a truck train I hate called the Carolina Squat. Yeah, I've seen it, and I can't stand it, where they drop the back end of the truck so it looks like it's tail dragging. Looks like a dog trying to wipe its butt on the grass. I'm with you, Scott. I hate that look. It's stupid. All right, so Joseph showed up. Glad he's here. And let's see. Hold on a second. Steve, the reason I like to donate is because there's knowledge I flat out don't have, and $10 to transfer the knowledge to drop in the bucket. You're right. Thank you, Steve. Appreciate that. Hey, Dave Pertain showed up. Good. Glad he. Where are we at? Let me back up a second. So Barry McInnes, if I put a Borley exhaust on my GT500 and a fat Turbsky in the car, will it get me more power and girls? It'll probably get you more tickets. Let's see. Barry McInnes, put the money in your wallet. It's a better girl magnet. Yeah. All right. Yeah, Steve, you're a little late, but it's I'm sure it's delay. Rodman was the answer. Oh, Steve is Rodman. Steve is saying he's Dennis Rodman. Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Joseph, you should watch The Last Dance. Great story about Michael Jordan and Dennis. I've heard about that, and I've also heard that there's a lot of stuff that it may not be true in that. So, I'm not gonna go too crazy on that. Give me a minute, Bob. Let's see. We've got You Can Do It. The news reported that 2 weeks ago, Dennis Rodman's net worth is $500,000. I guess you can't take it with you. Booze and chicks. Yeah, he's crazy. Sorry, I just cut that off. Save money, building confidence, and ability to do the job. Thank you, Bob. There you go. King's Custom. You should have a live stream car meet someday. That would be interesting. That would be very interesting.
Hey, yeah.
Try to pull that off.
Yeah. Oh,
All right,
what about a swap meet? Can we do a digital swap meet somehow?
I don't know. It'd be kind of hard to pull off. You know, somebody's looking for one thing, and it'd be hard to get. There's not enough people you can put on the screen at the same time. Yeah, Steve is saying 20 years ago, if I told you who our president would be, and that Rodman would be friends with Kim Jong, would you believe me? No.
Oh.
I would not.
No.
I don't know what you're trying to pull, Bob, but I'm not into it. So, Bob, say goodbye. All right. We're back, Jorge. Yeah, that's enough of that garbage. So, boom. Bye-bye, Bob. See ya. Yeah. You know, one of those that needs attention. So he's got to find a way to try to get some attention. Well, he just got some attention. Goodbye. Anyway.
Hey, Bear, so you were saying about the doors. Should I go with the factory door that's kind of beat up, or go with a brand new aftermarket door?
Well, I mean, use whatever door you're gonna put on the car. Whichever one you're planning on using, that's the one you need to make sure fits. Now, one thing I would say too is measure your door. Like, compare the new door to the old door. Check the length, you know, at the top, the length at the bottom, all that stuff, and make sure that it's you know, it's all the same. But the shell is going to be lighter to work with without any glass in it, you know, trying to get it on off the car. So anyway.
Yeah, it's a big difference.
Yeah.
Plus the middle's a lot thicker, and it's just definitely a lot heavier.
Yeah. Yep.
And the hinges are different too. You know, when I got the aftermarket doors, the bolts were different. I had to actually drill out the hinges to make the bolts fit. Yeah.
There's some issue with I've had run different bolts in the door itself on one of my other projects. For some reason, they had a smaller, I think it was a smaller dimension. I don't remember exactly, but I know I had issues with the door having a different size bolt. So, let's see. Dave's throwing a question out here. Barry, or I have a question. If you had to replace both side floor pans and rear rails, would you just do the entire floor or piece it? You know, anymore, I'd probably do a full pan, the full center section. But I mean, if you're doing rear rails, I like the one piece, the whole deal, the one piece Dynacorn floor pan. I really do. Everything's in place. You don't have to fight with anything. torque boxes and all that stuff. But yeah, I would do that. Now, if the frame rails were okay, I would do the center section one-piece pan. So you don't have any seams, you don't have the overlap welds and all that sort of thing. So that's a good question. Yeah, Joseph, I think Bob was looking for a little attention. He probably doesn't get any at home, so he had to try to get some attention here. Being a little kid. So, bye-bye. Let's see. Footage Factory, Steve, on a serious note, you have no idea how appreciative I am of that you made those videos and you're doing this chat. I'm sorry you get stuff like that. Yeah, I am too. There's no reason for it. But, when you have low mentality, you got to have attention. So he got it for a second. That's okay. We'll move on. Let me see what else we got going on here. Anyway, so, Rally Cat Garage is here. Harvey's here. Cool.
Hey,
He's
Harvey.
Yeah. So
He's
Harvey,
a nice-
what's going on with you? What's that?
He's in a nicer part of Jersey.
Nicer part of Jersey. They don't have the lockdown like you do?
It's not as bad.
Okay. So if you haven't seen, Harvey had a couple of cars on here. His 68 Mustangs. His son has one and he has one that he's building. And he did a viewers project video as well. So if you haven't seen, and I'm pretty sure he's got his channel going. I know we've had a couple of people who have started channels now because of those viewers project videos. And, Ted B's Pony Cars, I think it was Ted. He has one. And he's trying to get, stuff going on his channel. In fact, he's commented several times on the viewers project videos with a link to his channel. And what will happen is YouTube will flag that because somebody is trying to tag onto my video. But for anybody who's doing a viewers project, I turn them loose and let it on there. It doesn't bother me. It's not going to hurt anything there. That's right. Harvey is Rally Cat Garage. So I'm not sure what all he has posted recently. I know he was working on putting in the cross member on his T5 transmission, and he had an Instagram post where he had one type of cross member. One was a Scott Drake, and I forget who the other one was, but showing the difference between the two. So that would be I don't know if he made a video. He'll let us know here in a second. He says he just started his YouTube channel. So cool.
Yeah, I was thinking about doing that. And then,
it's not. You can. There's no reason not to. If it gets information out there and people can use it, and do good things with it.
But I do so many other different things, and I teach people a lot to do it. So it's like, my friends are bugging me to do it,
Yeah.
So, but I think a hard part for me is trying to edit all that stuff and trying to make it look, so it's, that's a time-consuming part.
It takes some practice. It definitely takes some practice.
Trying to get that GoPro camera to work. I think when I first got it, I took a lot of pictures with it, but then my stumbling block was trying to edit, because the editing on a GoPro was like a real pain in the neck.
It is. They have their own editing software, and I struggled with this on a recent video that I made. And what I usually have to do is take the GoPro footage, copy it, put it in a separate file, and save it in a separate file, and then drag it from there into my editing program. If I try to go directly from GoPro into the editing, it seems to fight with it somehow. But ideally, I don't know what editing software you're looking at, but
no idea. That's what I was going to ask you. What do you like? What do you use?
Well, I really, this is all you really need right here. Just one of these little. This is a Kodak Fix Pro or Pix Pro. I bought it at Walmart. Okay. This little camera, it has what's nice about. Oh, look, I better check that. See what's on that card. I haven't looked at this card in years. What I like about this camera is it has a built-in chargeable battery. Okay, so you can charge this battery instead of buying AA's and popping them in constantly. You can take this out, put it in the charger, or this one has a, I think it has a port. Yeah, it has a charging port, so you can plug in. This little, all I do is take footage with this little camera and take the card out, stick it in my computer, and just start playing with the files. And then, I mean, like I said, this is all you really need to start with. This is not even a $100 camera from Walmart. Okay. And then
how do you edit the videos? Like how do you edit them? Like cut and paste and
what I use is a program called Wondershare Filmora. Okay. It's a purchased editing software. And if I remember, I think I paid $60 or $70 for that software, but it is a lifetime deal. They update it. And the way it works is they sell you the program. I think you can use it for free, honestly, but it puts their logo on it somewhere, like a watermark across your video.
oh, yeah.
But if you pay for it, it's a lifetime update. It comes with all kinds of features. It comes with some free music. It comes with different transition type things and different titles and all kinds of stuff. I haven't bought anything from Filmora except for the program. So that's all I use. And then there's a guy that I follow on YouTube, and I think of his name, Dave Batsa or something like that.
Oh yeah, yeah. He was in
He's
New York.
got long curly black hair.
Yeah.
All he does is show you how to use Wondershare from Filmora. That's all he shows you. So once you get that set up, you just start playing with it and start figuring out how to piece it together. And his videos are fantastic. So let's see where we're at here. Footage Factory, Steve, sometimes it takes me a week to edit a 5-minute video. Well, it doesn't take me quite that long, but it takes me hours to do. If I have a video that's an hour long, my editing is probably 4 to 5 hours. I'm just sitting there moving stuff.
That's pretty good.
I mean, it's a lot of time. But if you watch my videos, I try not to have lags. I try not to have gaps. I try not to have dead space. Like I'll put music on if I'm doing a time lapse just to help it, be visually and audibly appealing. But it's just, it takes some practice to get all that stuff together. So, yeah, we're good, Sam. I'm just not gonna. Yeah. No, if it is Bob, yes, you got booted from the chat, and you're not welcome. Sorry. I have no room for jerks. So,
this is a PG show.
Yeah, well, like I said, people trying to get attention. So, yeah. So, Rally Cat, Harvey, good luck, good info on editing. Yes. So definitely, if you're interested, I mean, there's other programs out there, but I got used to using the Wondershare, and I've learned a lot from that Dave, like how to save. Like, if you notice on some of my videos now, on the end, like my viewers projects, I'll put my email, and it kind of comes up, and then it goes down. Well, I didn't know I could save that as a file, and then put that, instead of recreating it every time, I can just drag it on, drop it, and I'm done. So there's shortcuts that I'm learning as I go along.
Yeah, your videos are getting better. I mean, the content is
Well,
awesome.
That's the goal, is to keep improving. If we go back, because when I used to make videos, old videos, what I would do is I I didn't want to make a super long. I didn't want to make long videos. I want to make 10 or 15-minute videos. So, I would take this camera and I would say, okay, I'm going to take off this part and I'm going to do this and take that off and then move this. And then I would do it and then come back and say, okay, I took that off and did that and did that. And I realized people don't want to see that. They want to see, okay, I'm going to take this off. Here's the nut you turn. This is how you move this. Pull this out of the way. And that's what people want to see. They want to see more actual movement and details.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. No, and it's helpful details. It's like stuff that, that you point out that, hey, this is where you can have a problem. This is how you can fix it. That's the,
yeah. Now, I'm not sure. Realist Iceman. Oh, he's talking about he can do editing for a low rate. Thing is, I know what content I want to put into a video, and I just couldn't handle that with somebody else. And
can you, after something's on YouTube, can you go back and edit it?
You can do some minor editing on YouTube, but it's really more about like blurring stuff out. Like if you didn't want something to show, you can put a blur on. It's really limited. YouTube used to have an editor that you could actually do cuts and stuff like that. They did away with that. And there was another one called it was something on Microsoft, that came with like Windows. It was Windows Movie Maker or something. That's what I used to use, and then it went away. And then I bought a thing from Adobe, and I tried using it, and I was like, I don't understand this. And somebody told me about the Wondershare, and so that's when I looked into it, and I was like, okay, I can figure this out. So,
cool.
Let's go back up here a little bit. Yeah, Harvey is saying hope things are improving in your area. Let's see. Okay, so Jack, Barry, let's set a date for you to come up to Jersey. I'm ready to start the car, but I know you want to see it whole. Yes, I do want to see it whole, and we will communicate. We'll talk, Jack, just not here. Send me an email. I think you sent me an email in the past, so just send me another email. Yeah, thank you, Harvey. I try to keep improving and thinking about what people want to see and what I can film. In I've said it before. Actually, the Osmo. I mean, you can spend some money on some cameras. You really can. But to start, this is all you need. The other camera that I use is that little handheld Canon with a flip out side screen, which is really nice. You can work with that and you can turn it over. So if you get in front of it, you can see yourself. And then the Osmo, which this is the case for the Osmo. That's that little one. When I do all my time lapse with this little camera. So it worked out really well. I think in the last video I did, as I was talking about what I wanted to do to the car, because I already had everything on that time lapse, I was able to pull those in and make that happen to where my voiceover was right on the money with it.
Yeah, that was really cool. In the beginning part of it, you kind of see like quick, and then you just, that was pretty cool when you did that.
Right. And what I've learned also, and this is just an observation from YouTube, they tell you whatever your video is about, you need to show something with that action in the first 15, 20 seconds. So the idea is, for me, what I've been trying to do is I'll show my title and I'll put my logo, and then I'll do a short little snippet of the car being painted or whatever I'm working on. And it'll be like maybe a time lapse. And then people go, oh, now I see what he's looking at or what he's doing. And then I back up and I start my conversation and I say, here's what I'm working on. And I just, go through my whatever topic and then start, the real video sequence. So.
Yeah. Cause I think for like when I was going through, cause I saw just a ton of your videos and I was like, all right, I'm doing the floor. So I was up real late, like trying to go through. I'm like, okay, what part I wanted to see. That's the thing is like, if it could be a better way to categorize it so you get to that segment quicker. That's, that's a lot of work.
That's a lot because you could sit there and say, I mean, you can put timer marks, on a video, which I've never thought about doing that before. I mean, I've got 500 videos on YouTube. So the idea what you could do is say, okay, if you want to skip ahead, this timer mark is pulling the floor out, or this timer mark is dropping the floor support. The difficulty with that is not only creating all of that and having it in place, but it also skips ahead through the video. And the way YouTube works, they want people to watch as much of the video as possible. That's how they work their deals. So anyway, let's see. Dave's saying we'd like to see action. Yep. I've learned that. I've learned that. Terry is saying, I guess he's missing a word there. I'm guessing, would you do a opening introduction to your videos? I'm not sure what you're asking, Terry. But we'll have to, if you want to rephrase that, it might help. The Realist Iceman, I can also record a theme song for you guys. I've had something in mind for a while.
Cool.
Maybe. I don't know. I'd have to see what you actually do. People can say these things, and like we had Bob earlier, trying to be, but I don't know what your history is. So if you have something you can reference, maybe a video we can look at or something, that would be great. Yeah. Okay, Jack. Good. Let's see. Realist Iceman. It goes Joe Daddy's Garage, Joe Daddy's Garage, Joe Daddy's Garage. Okay. I don't think that's very original, but yeah, here's a good comment from Steve. Jorge, depending on what phone you have, you could do everything on your phone. I do everything on my phone, and it's 4K. That is another thought. You can use your phone, but trust me, turn it sideways. Don't hold it up and down. Turn it sideways.
I'll do better.
Full screen. So, but yeah, and I have not tried that actually. I've not tried to record because I have an iPhone. I have not tried to record and then transfer it. I've not tried that. I'm just used to using a card. And besides, my phone is so full of junk that it even has trouble updating. So I don't know how much, how that would work. But that is a good point, Steve. What? All right, there's your bell. Where are we at? Nick Moss. I'll send you an email next Monday. I should have some updates by then. I'm heading to bed for the work routine. See you later. Glad you're here, Nick. VW, how do you store all your videos and remove them from your hard drive? I struggle to keep hard drive space. That's a good question.
Hard drive.
Yeah, I don't have a great answer. I know my wife had bought me. Whoops, sorry. Oh, why is that not? She had bought me this. Oh, that's a picture keeper, and I don't even know how much space these actually hold. But she had bought me this thing called a video keeper, and it's really not designed to hold tons and tons and tons, but it's just it's probably just a so many gigabyte card. But my computer, I have videos stored on my laptop and I have videos stored on my desktop. And my desktop has 1 terabyte of memory, I think. So I can store a lot of stuff on there. And that's all I use it for, really. I don't store anything but videos and pictures on there. So you may just have to get a newer, bigger computer or get a independent hard drive that you can tap into. Yeah, sorry, Joseph. I don't know what's going on.
Oh,
You're choppy.
Is it me?
Yeah. Well, you're back now.
Yeah, I was trying to download a video I made on the phone, and using that tool and the sparks going into it was pretty cool looking.
Yeah.
But it's too big.
So that's why it did that. I'm just gonna cancel it, and then I'll use that Gmail. Well, that was the other thing too. Did that work out using the Drive?
Dropbox.
Yeah, Google Drive.
Oh yeah, it did. And the other thing I use is Dropbox. Is another system I use to get for people to send me. I can send a request, and then they can just drop it in the Dropbox, and then it comes to me through that process. Let's see. Real Tar, can I be a YouTube millionaire with my VHS camcorder with bikini clad assistance? Apparently you can on Instagram. I know you're. Oh, wait a minute. We have VW has donated. Now that's $10 Australian. I don't know what the conversion is, but you get a bell anyway. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Let's go back up a second. Yeah, Dave Bertain says the main issues with phone can be sound quality. So kind of keep that in mind. Old crony Scott says he's going to get a video camera for his videos. My phone makes shaky videos because of the way I hold it. Yeah, I've actually looked at some of your videos, Scott, and you need to fix that because whatever you're doing, get a camcorder that has an image stabilizer built in. Much further ahead.
You get dizzy watching those videos. They're like.
Steve is saying if you have an iPhone, it doesn't talk well with Windows stuff. Also, I literally edit everything on my phone, which is why it takes a week. Oh, well, that would explain a lot, Steve. I can't do that. First of all, I can't see that well to look at my phone and try to figure out what I'm doing. I'm much further ahead doing it with camcorder and getting in fact, my desktop has a screen of it's like a 26-inch monitor or 28-inch. It's a big monitor that I don't need any glasses or nothing. You know, I can just I can see it. Robert says filming on my phone in 4K fills up the memory card really fast and transfers are slow off of a phone. Yeah. That's why I like the camera. You can just stick the card in, it's good to go. Let's see. Where
How
we
about
at?
Mac versus like IBM? Like what because I can go either way. I got both.
Say again?
I heard, is Mac like using Apple like MacBooks maybe a better way to go for editing and stuff like that? Or
I know people that use them and they love it. I've never used a Mac, so I can't say. I don't know. I wish I had an answer for that. I know my kids use Mac. They're good with it. I'm old school. I've got an old whatever computer.
yeah, it's like I had to learn it for work, and it was like learning how to use Braille. It was like,
Okay.
oh, 2 fingers do this, one finger does that. It's like yeah, they're definitely different. I mean, once you get used to them, they're really nice, but the learning curve is a real pain in the neck.
Octagon Garage, thanks for the info on making YouTube videos. I've been slowly producing my own using my iPhone, and also thank you for the high standards that you put on your channel. Foul language is a waste of time. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. Octagon. Yeah. Steve's been warned. I don't know if he actually said what he was trying to say, but he was pretty darn close if he wasn't.
Can you beep people out? Can you beep them on this thing?
No, it's as we go. Barry McInnes, I also have a Porsche GT3 RS, which is faster than his thing, but I would totally drive a kayak. Yeah, I like kayaks.
I was actually planning on putting electric motor on one. I was actually thinking about doing that.
They sell them. It's an easy conversion. I mean, it's just a plate, and you set a little trolling motor off to the side.
Yeah, I wanted to hide it so you wouldn't.
Oh, you want one that's underneath?
I wanted to build a sleeper kayak.
Yeah, sleeper kayak. Yeah.
So I just pedal along.
Here's David saying, get a MyBook external hard drive. You can get them in many terabytes. My wife and I use them. Costco has them, not expensive. So there you go, VW. That's the answer from Dave. Footage Factory. Steve is saying, Jorge, what kind of phone do you have?
It's Apple 8,
Oh, an iPhone 8?
iPhone 8, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, there's VW. All right. Oh, there was a question earlier about the brakes, and I don't know if Joseph has asked it. I think I missed it. Somebody had asked if I'd put in an aftermarket master cylinder. I have not put in like a Willwood master cylinder on that. I know he's that's what Barry is asking. Have you ever installed a Willwood master? I have not, but that is what I'm guessing is going into the Brooklyn Pony when it gets here. I know it's supposed to be coming at some point in time. So that's going to be the master cylinder setup that's going to go in the car. I have put in, the conversion into Jade Mustang, which is just a CSRP stock style setup. But I have not done the Willwood yet. So
I can't wait to get yeah, nice to be able to roll the car out of the garage.
What's that?
I can't wait to be able to at least roll the car out of the garage a little more.
Yeah.
Break.
Well, you built a levitator. So you've got one that levitates, floats on air. Yeah, Steve, I got all kinds of jokers on here. Wait a minute. Steve is claiming a $10 Australian is $90 US. Where's my hat? Not happening, Steve. Somebody else will have to tell me the conversion. Terry Baptist, would you consider saving your videos on a remote server like cloud storage, for instance? I have not. I haven't considered that. I guess it's an option. I guess he's asking VW if he's considered it, but not me. Where are we at here? And, oh, yeah. Scott's saying he's going to get something to take care of the wind noise. That's pretty important. Joseph, I bought a 15/16 Willwood master cylinder with Willwood prop valve, and with my factory Z-bar, it's going to require I move it to the left side of the master cylinder, which isn't close to lines. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I wish I had something to share with you on that, but I don't. So, but yeah, I don't have an answer. I'm sorry.
How's their tech support?
What's that?
How's Woodward's tech support? Are they pretty
I don't
decent?
know.
You haven't used them yet?
I have not called them or talked to them, so I don't know. Tyler saying he's back and he has an iPhone 8. Well, I've got a 7, so I'm way behind on the times, I guess. All right, so Matt's checking out. Glad you're here. Joseph, I really wish I had some inspiration for you, but I don't. I'm sorry about that. Harvey, it's been a great feeling to move under my car. Oh, to move my car under its own power after 3 years. That's awesome.
That's a big deal.
Here's a question, and I understood this. Dave was saying, did the many times affect the rear seat at all? Somebody asked that last week, and I think Nick was was it Nick?
That was Greg, I think, wasn't it?
I don't remember now. Somebody had put the tubs in, and I think they said it didn't change this.
It doesn't, because it's aft. It's not,
it's behind the seat.
So it doesn't, depends on how big you're putting the tubs in too. I mean, how big are you doing them?
That's a good question too. Yeah.
You're building a rail.
Yeah. Steve's saying Willwood's tech support is not good. Okay. I'll have to go with that. I haven't called them or anybody else. I think I called somebody on something. I don't remember how long. It could have been 3-4 years ago. I don't remember. And I felt like I may as well just talk to the wall for some of it, because I don't know how good they are with the, you would think a tech support guy would be able to say, hey, okay, I'm doing this. putting on this page of your sequence. I'm putting this in. This doesn't fit. What's going on? And it's like, oh, let me see if I can find the manual. You should know that manual. If you're the tech support guy, you should know exactly what I'm talking about.
First question I ask when I call tech support, what continent are you in? You in this country?
Right.
And
That's
if they're like, okay, and then
yeah, that's another
just
conflict.
do a thing, And a lot of times with tech support too, it's what time you call them. What time of the day is
That could be too.
Like who? It's usually the guys that are really good are there like at a certain time, and then it's the time it's like,
Joseph is saying, have you done a T5 swap yet in a classic Mustang? I have not, but I don't know how much Harvey's done. Harvey put in a T5 in his Mustang, and in his Viewers Project video, he showed some interesting details about that. So go back to the Viewers Projects and look up Harvey's 68 Mustang. There might be some insight there. I know he was talking about the clutch he used and some simple conversions for that. And I know currently he was putting in the tranny cross member. So I know that was, and I don't know if he's done a video on that or not.
Yeah, I was thinking about going that route, and the biggest thing I got out of it's worth doing it because you're going to get that overdrive, and that's nice on the highway because you can cruise with it, and then you got the other speeds, so you can really set up the rear really, really well with that. The negative things I've heard about it is you got to get the drive shaft the right length. That's a little tricky. And the clutch cable that they have for that is kind of a rig. It's kind of like, and then they also have a hydraulic setup, which is really nice. But the trouble with the hydraulic setup is the way that they do it is like, you can't, it's like self-adjusting. You have to take the thing out, you have to measure it, you have to put shims in it, and you put it back in. That's probably the better way to go because you're not killing yourself now, especially if you're going to go with high performance and you're putting a bigger clutch pressure plate. And you got a lot of extra weight, so you kind of need to figure that out.
Right. I know, like I said, Harvey had a video. He was talking about that clutch setup. It was out of a 2001 Mustang or something like that, to where he welded a plate. You have to look at the video. I don't remember the details.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
Dave is saying Dynacorn offers a floor pan with mini tubs installed. I was curious. So I do not know, but
I'm not real a big fan of Dynacore lately.
What's that?
I'm not a big fan of Dynacore lately. That's
not for the rocker panels.
Yeah.
So Harvey is saying the modern driveline had pretty helpful tech support. So if that's the name of the company, Modern Driveline, I don't know. I'm assuming it is. Steve says Willwood is in Calabasas, California. I'll take their word for it. Yeah, that's Bob is saying ask tech support if they ever worked on a car. That would be a good call.
Yeah.
Mustang Steve clutch conversion was nice. So apparently he went through Mustang Steve, but I have not researched that. Yeah, Scott. You can pick up one of these cameras, like I said, this was only like $80 at Walmart. So, and Harvey says the stock drive shaft was the correct length.
Really?
Yeah. So what I can only assume. Joseph is saying, Jorge, I have the T5 swap in with the factory Z-bar setup. I was thinking of switching to cable to fix my master cylinder prop valve issues. You can use Z-bar, so you may have to. You just may have to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, there's pros and cons to that. So
yeah.
I haven't personally done it. I'm only going by what the guys are telling me from guys
Sure.
that have kind of done it, So I really, but like I said, really, it all depends on what kind of pressure plate you're going to put in there and how much of how much hydraulic mechanical pressure you're going to need, how much cable pressure you're going to need, because once you convert that over, you're changing over the clutch length of the pedals. I mean, it's a lot of stuff gets changed over just to put that system in there.
Yeah.
But it's definitely, the guys are telling me it's definitely worth it.
Well, and Harvey has a videos on his Instagram, and Harvey, I don't remember is it just Rally Cat Garage on your Instagram? I don't remember the name of it. So if you want to type in what it is, that might be helpful. Let's see, Realtar. Does anyone have good original 67 fenders? I have a 67 door that has 6 months use. Till put it in storage, rust free. What is it worth? That's a good question. It's worth whatever you can get for it. I mean, I don't know what the demand is.
The problem with selling stuff is that shipping kills you.
Yes.
It's
that's
the
hard part. That is the hard part. Okay, so Tyler put a big block. His dad put a big block in his F-250. Good. King Custom, I'm going to stop in about 7.5 minutes. That'll put us at the 3-hour mark, which is 10 o'clock.
Wow.
My butt's starting to get sore. I'm going to have to call it quits. Terry Baptist, would you do a classic pickup truck rebuild? Actually, I have already done classic trucks. But, in fact, I showed it a while ago. Let me see if there's 3 pictures right there of a 70 Chevy short bed that I redid. Has a 454 in it. I did that and sold it. But I've done several 67 to 72 Chevy trucks. And so I just haven't done videos on it, unfortunately.
Oh, one quick question for you, son. Those doors on how I have that, is that going to be able to support it like that with the bunch of self-tapping screws, the rocker, like all?
Well, there's no weight on it. The rockers are just hanging there. The weight is going to be on the A-pillar.
That's going to be all right to. Oh yeah.
It's not going to. It shouldn't affect it.
We'll find out.
You'll find out. Let's see. Steve, Modern Driveline in Idaho, actually is very knowledgeable about 6-speed install, and he showed me pics about adjusting the runner. So, Modern Driveline in Idaho, shout out to them. Harvey, could not believe it, but drive shaft fit. The conversion shaft I bought was 1 inch too short. It was 1 inch too short. Okay. So there's Harvey's Instagram, Rallycat Garage /Harvey Project 68. So you can find him. He's got pictures and details on there. Sean, is the guy saying he's got original 67 fenders and doors? He's got an original door. I think he was looking for fenders. Yeah, he was looking for original 67 fenders. And I'm assuming he says I have a 67 door that has 6 months use. So I don't know if it's an original 67 door or not. 6 months use sounds like it may be a new aftermarket door, but I don't know. Steve was saying something about the tranny tunnel. The tranny tunnel. I don't know. Dave, Barry, have you ever done a V8 Vega? I've done 2 and still have one. I have not, but I would like to have a V8 Vega.
It's fun to drive.
I had when I was in high school, actually, you know what? Since he brought that up, here it is. Here's a new banner, new title. Junkyard story time. And I may have told this before, but I don't know. I'm glad Dave brought that up. I'm going to tell a quick junkyard story. And I think I may have told this before, but anyway. When I was in high school, I drove all kinds of cars. My dad's junkyard, I mean, everything. Drove whatever was available. And at one point, he had bought a 74 Vega wagon that had been hit in the back end, but it was still drivable. And I was working on fixing it, actually. Had the little 4-cylinder, had a 4-speed transmission. It was a Vega wagon, and it was baby blue, original baby blue. And so I was driving this car, working on it. I'd found the little like the wheels that look like the GT style Vega GT wheels or whatever. I was working on swapping the seats. I was doing all kinds of stuff to it, making it a cool car.
Is it a station wagon?
Huh?
It's a station wagon.
Yeah, it's a white. They're 2-doors. It's a 2-door. It's like a little Nomad, you know. Anyway, so I was driving this car to high school. I mean, I was working on it, trying to make it look nice. And one day I'd gone to, I forget whatever the reason was. I had to ride the bus to school, and I rode the bus, and I came home, and I was going to go somewhere, go to a friend's house or go to the store or something. So I went out, and I'm jumping in my Vega. I'm like, I'm going to go drive go to the store. I get in, I hit the key, and I hear this ring. Like, that's not good. Ring. I can hear the starter motor just spinning. I'm thinking, oh, solenoid's not engaging. You know, the starter's just humming. I pop the hood, open it up. I look in. The engine's gone. So the engine is gone. Now, mind you, this is our junkyard. This is my dad's junkyard. We had 10 acres of land, 1,000 cars up there. Somebody came to the junkyard and wanted a 4-cylinder, whatever engine for a Vega. And my brother decided, I'm not going to go up in the junkyard and pull one. Barry's car is right there. I'll just rip it out of his car. So he did. He pulled the engine out of my Vega, left the starter hanging there intentionally, knowing that I would try to start. He had cleaned it up, parked it right where it was. I was like, I said, I was mad because this is my car, so I'm driving. He said, oh, it's easy. Just go pull an engine. He wanted me to go pull another engine out and put in the car. And I didn't. I ended up junking it because I couldn't. I was like, this is ridiculous. So that was my Vega. That's my junkyard story. I haven't done one in a while. But yeah, he sold the engine right out of my car in front of the shop. So yeah.
That's the same brother that you did something with the arc welding and it shocked your chest?
He's the one that lit me up with the big 220 arc welder. Yeah. So I only have one brother. So thankfully. Let's see. King's Custom. How old are you guys? Just wanted to know. Well, I just turned 53, like this week. This week? Yeah. Last week. 53 last week. So I don't know how old you're close to my age.
I'll be 60 next year.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, you don't look 60. I'll give you credit for that.
I feel it.
You definitely have the younger hair. So I'm jealous. Let's see. I'm running out of time. Time's almost up. Yep. Steve saying, what's up, Sean? Harvey, trans tunnel fit the T5 fine. Good. I'm running out of time here. So yeah, Joseph, that's exactly it. My brother did that stuff all the time. Did this stuff all the time, man. Dave, I'll tell you, I think I've told you I'm not going to tell the junkyard story about my 72 Chevy truck. But I think I've told it before, but it's probably worth telling again. That'll be another episode. So, all right. So I'm going to call it quits. Jorge, I'm going to sign you off. Cool. Glad you were here. Appreciate your input, checking out your garage, looking at your project. That's really great. And I'm glad to see that you're making progress. So,
all right, thanks, guys. Thanks for your help. I really appreciate the channel. And please don't forget to use Amazon and help Barry out.
There you go. Thank you for that. And we'll see you next week.
All right. Happy Memorial Day. Be safe, guys. Bye.
Thank you. See you. Okay. So I'm calling it a night. And with good reason. It's been 3 hours. So we're going to end this broadcast. And, yeah, hit the like button. That's right, Dave. Thank you. Appreciate the thumbs up. I'm sorry about the little clown show that we had earlier. There's no way for me to filter that. I try to be nice and let people on, this so that they can talk about their projects, make some real talk and not be a clown. But obviously there's, at least one guy who decided he wanted to be a clown, and, I'm not going to put up with it. I'm sorry I let it go as long as I did, but I'll try to avoid that happening again. I may do some, I don't know, I can't do a background check or anything, but, just anyway. So that's going to be it. And let me play some music to sign us off. This song is called Chunk. I downloaded it off of YouTube Studio or Audio Tracks, and we're going to call it a night. So we'll talk to you later. See you next week, Monday at 7 p.m. See you.